You are well after.
Bullets.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the after the strange encounter with the inquisitive but seemingly harmless void gargoyle on the Nautilus ship, you guys set out for the slopes of the mountains of Norok's homeland, and then on an icy field in the foothills in the mountains, you were. We left off actually. Guess where you were already being attacked. You were already in battle with them as they had attempted to ambush you. Norok was knocked to the ice into the network of tunnels below. Shok, his revenant uncle, dove in after him. Nazim, you had just choked down a vial of that black liquid, and then blasted one of the creatures with some of your eldritch lightning. Thera, still in mammoth form, gored one of them. Almost knocked it over, I think. Didn't you? Didn't you almost knock it over?
No, I don't think they can be knocked prone, can they?
They can't be knocked prone. Okay, so I don't think I explained that very well. I'll go ahead and finish this real quick here. I probably was doing two things at once and didn't make that too or clear enough to you.
How dare you, Jeremy?
Yeah, really. Still, last week or the last session rather was the first one back in a while, so it's still pretty rusty.
Mm-hmm.
But you nearly knocked it over when you gored it, lifting it up with the tusks, and noticed that this is the part that I don't think I made too clear, that its belly has less armor. Yeah, it's not nearly as armored on the belly, whereas hitting it anywhere else is very difficult to do any damage to it, or at the doing anything more than half damage to it, let's say. Similarly, note to that, I think Arteme did catch this, of course, because she was, using this. But Arteme, intuiting that the snow sharks are particularly susceptible to heat, was lobbing those little fireballs at it, at the carapace of one of them, and was helping to tend to Norok's wounds too after he'd fallen through. Giuseppe, Pogo, aka Giuseppe, couldn't find a clear shot into the tunnels, so you were throwing out inspiration to Norok and Nazim. The date, I'll give that to you, as you guys can see on the calendar there anyways, but the date is the 2nd of Grand Dusk. Yeah, Tower's Day, and it is around 2 p.m. or so in the afternoon. All right, let me go ahead and move us over. We'll give that a second to get everybody moved, and then for the combat music to start, presumably. There we go. Oh, that's loud.
I haven't heard it yet on my side.
It'll 10
take
minutes.
A second.
Yeah, 10 minutes and 30. It usually takes a few seconds for everybody to get started. Let me know if that's when you get it, guys. Let me know if it's too loud or too quiet, and I can bump it up or down. It still sounds a little loud on my side.
Remember, everyone, we can adjust it on our own side using the little.
As long as it doesn't go past the minimum. Yeah. Yeah, if you max it out and it's still if you minimize it and it's still too loud, then let me know and I can adjust on this side too. I bumped it down to where it sounds about right to me. So go ahead and adjust on your guys' side if you need to.
I think you're good. Right now, I have mine set at about 50%, and it seems about where I want it. So
that's where it ought to. Really, I should have it where it's about 50% for everybody, and that way you guys can comfortably move it up or down as you need to. So, all right. So where we left off, it is Pogo's turn. We literally ended the last combat with Nazim, who is the last in the initiative order. So it is Pogo's turn.
So I don't think my map's fully loaded, but you can see.
Well, there's a hole. You're 25 feet up. And you're looking down through a hole at Norok. Norok is just, through the ice in the tunnels below, and you can see him through the hole.
All I see is the room.
I just see the map. But
can you
let me see.
Zoom out? You guys should be to the northwest of the broom.
I remember where I'm supposed to be, but I only see the map and the snowfall and no assets on the map.
Yeah.
No bad guys, good guys, etc.
Let me turn off the weather just in case.
We can give it a minute. It might catch up.
Yeah, it should have. Whatever. It doesn't take that long usually, though.
Don't refresh on your side. We'll refresh on our side, and that usually works.
I just turned off the weather. Go ahead and refresh your guys' side.
All right, we'll refresh. I'll think about what I want to do. Stupid bard not having any flame spells. Dumb.
You have Mystic Secrets. You could have chosen them. You chose Celestial instead.
I got Peter, man.
Guiding Bolt.
I like Peter.
Well, yeah, that too. I was thinking Guiding
Bolt.
Yeah,
I like Guiding Bolt. Guiding Bolt is a neat spell.
It is. It has the added benefit of it too. That's a pretty big deal that you can use it to also grant initiative.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mean for her to be in there. That's okay. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'll leave Sai in there for now, Fox, and then we'll just start with that next time at least because I already put her in the initiative order.
Oh, okay.
Becky, do you want Noctua in there as well?
No, it's alright. I wasn't actually planning on using her for combat. I was planning to use her more for like stealth stuff, like
Reconnaissance?
scouting ahead. Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
There we go.
Okay. got
Yeah,
it.
everything loaded. Now I'm
Okay.
just waiting on the music.
Becky, it'd load for you, Fox.
Yeah.
It's loaded, but it's very dark.
We'll give it a minute. It might come up. It just might take a while. All right, let's see. I like that we're all floating above this whole like, nah.
Yeah, yeah. Nazim is only a
Fuck
couple feet
this.
up, but both Arteme and Pogo were floating.
All right, the
Norak,
one that's
Ben,
by-
well, hang on one
Okay.
second. Ben, is it still loading for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's almost done.
Yeah, it's almost that.
Okay.
There I
And Fox, you just refreshed?
Yeah, I just refreshed because it's really dark and like none of the tokens are there.
Okay. We'll give it a second to get
Okay.
everybody loaded in here.
Sure.
So Justin can figure out what he wants to do. You know what, actually, while we're waiting, give me a perception check on just Pogo.
Oh boy.
I'd say with disadvantage too, because you're in combat and kind of busy.
Floating up.
Oh
Womp,
shit!
Womp,
Yeah, I dropped to 20.
womp, womp.
Any luck, Fox?
Yeah, no, it's loaded and the icons are there. It's not like just really dark.
Everything looks good now then.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, what you doing, Justin?
Fuck it. I am just the one that's on its side. The mammoth just knocked one like on its side. The snow shark over by.
He already righted himself. Yeah, the one that's by
Okay.
the mammoth. Yeah, he's already standing back up again. Yeah.
Fuck it. I don't want to go down in the hole, so I am going to. That fucking dumb things being too dumb for me to cast some of my coolest shit on.
Because it's
So
intelligence
dumb.
too.
Yeah, they're too stupid for me to like use my
Manipulate.
bardic magic and
You can't
fucking suggest
charm
shit.
him.
I can't charm him with anything. All right. Let me give me 1 second here to read this one. So if I'm at 5th level, okay. I'm just fuck it. I'm just gonna cast Toll the Dead since that creature's already been damaged, right?
Both of them have been.
Yeah. So the one that's in front of the one that I don't have to go into the fucking hole for. That's over by.
No, there's two that are.
the other one's
that are
out of the hole
visible to you.
too.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's another hole
Um,
beneath it, but they're both like on the surface.
Okay. Is the one that was in the hole attacking Norak one of these two?
Yes, the one that was
Okay.
attacking Norak is the one to the northwest of you. It
Okay,
jumped up
thank
through
you.
the hole.
Cool. That actually is really good to know. I couldn't remember that from last time.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and just to confirm, if I cast Toll the Dead, because I'm new to my multi-classing, it still casts it at the 11th level benefit.
Yeah. Cantrips.
cool.
Any
Just wanna
cantrips
make
still
sure.
use
Always
your,
level
your
with the
actual
character.
level. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So that's going to be 3d12. If I hit, that's a DC 17 Wisdom throw. And if this
All right.
motherfucker is smarter than me,
He's wise.
Goddamn.
If he's not intelligent, but he is wise.
Yeah. He's not intelligent, but he is wise. Yeah, there we go.
All right.
Fucking dick.
So 3d8. Go ahead and click your damage.
It's actually 3d12.
Or yeah, sorry, that's the versatile one. So click the versatile one.
There we go. Sweet dick.
That's pretty
Perfectly
good
right
roll.
in the middle.
Right.
And I am going to, and then I'll go ahead and I'm going to fly on my Pietro down. Nope, fuck that. I'm gonna go ahead and yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that shit. I'm just gonna go ahead and fly. I'm gonna cast no, I'm just gonna fly. Let's see here. We'll just go probably over here away from the top one, staying
Okay.
20 feet, 5 feet above,
Okay.
away from the one that I just attacked. And as a bonus action, yeah, fuck it. I'll cast Spiritual Banjo.
I think you can drag him. Let me go and grab him just in case. But
Oh, I can.
You should be able to. Yeah, I think you could just drag him straight on.
And that puts me close enough to this guy, and I'll go ahead and roll for attack with Spiritual Banjo.
Yep.
Oops. And
AC is 17.
All right, let's see.
Nope. Will not hit.
It will not hit.
Banjo clanging against his tail, busted strings, sounding from it seems to have had no impact.
And that's going to be both me and Pietro's turn. So,
yep. All right,
onward.
With that, Pogo now would probably notice this. I'm going to say it's too late for you to do anything about it. That's what the perception check was. There appears to be another pile of snow rushing in from the northeast, heading in this direction. Ben,
good thing I moved south a little bit.
Ben, that is above. That's not close by you. I know you're in the corner of the map there. You're actually on the northwest of the other map. Does everybody understand? Well, I guess Ben's the only one that matters for. Ben, you get that
part
right.
of it's like the one on the right is like the underside of the one that we're looking at.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So Ben, where you're at is really in the top left of the other map, where the big guy is in the top left. He just jumped through that same hole that you're standing under. Does that make sense?
So if you zoom way out, just pretend that the map on the right with the tunnels is directly underneath the snow map.
Yep. Yeah, I could have. There's a much more elegant way to have done this. I haven't done that yet.
I tried to figure out the elegant way. I could not figure out I couldn't get it to work right.
Yeah, honestly, it sounds simple enough. I just didn't do it yet, so I'll give it a shot soon. I already had this map ready, so all this stuff's been prepared for quite a while. So I didn't want to go back and redo it, essentially. So, anyways, the disturbed snow rushes in the direction of the mammoth over here and erupts through the ground here. In fact, it'll need another hole tile, and is going to deadly leap through the air and crash into the mammoth. Becky, it will be if I can find it. There it is. DC 16 Dex. You can do Dex or Strength actually. So up to you. DC 16 either way.
Save.
Yeah. I mentioned that specifically because it's coded as a Dex, but I figured you'd probably want to use Strength. Yeah, okay. I figured for that reason that you'd probably want to use Strength.
Dex is terrible.
Yeah. It comes crashing down over you. Then let me go and put the hole in its place here. Right about there.
Mammoths don't jump out of the way very well.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned specifically the Strength, because otherwise you wouldn't have seen it unless you read the notes for it. But it still comes crashing down on you, knocking you away from it.
Stop trying to have sex with my friend!
This is the mating ritual of the snow shark.
Yeah, right.
Bludgeoning damage plus slashing damage, so it is 3d6 plus 4, and you're not... Are you resistant to slashing or bludgeoning?
I don't think so.
All right, so it'll be 66 plus 8 then. Plus 8.
Yeah, I'm staying the fuck away from that thing.
35 and half. Well, I believe it's in half, though. Hang on. A successful save, it only takes half damage, isn't knocked prone, and is just pushed 5 feet away instead of... It would have knocked you through the ice as well. But 35 and half, 17 after you round up, right? So. Yeah, so rounding up, actually, so 18, yeah. So 18 damage, it's slashing and bludgeoning as it hits you, and the ice beneath it begins to crack a little bit. It hasn't knocked through, but it is cracking. And that is... actually, no, he's got a bonus action as well. He's going to rend and tear.
Sounds fun.
Ooh, natural 20.
Oh shit!
Man, it doesn't hit very hard. Yeah, it doesn't hit very hard. This is actually its weaker attack.
Just so you know, that they have they're dumb as shit. So you could probably polymorph one of them into a something.
She's already polymorphed though. She can't cast.
No, but I mean, like if you get turned back into another thing, you'd probably just turn one into a toad.
22.
Pretty soon here, probably.
Well, how many hit points? You gotta have like what 150 hit points.
I'm at 61 out of 126.
Should have gone with the T-Rex.
And you see it as the blood splashes from the mammoth onto the ground. The frills around the neck of this creature kind of elongate and widen, like it's a. Well, I just described it that very penis-like, and I didn't intend to, but
it's fucking this mammoth. I get it.
But
it's gonna have sex with the mammoth.
It's an engorged snow shark now. It gets extra temporary hit points when it does damage.
As long as she doesn't turn back like mid-coitus, we're okay.
All right, it is Artemis' turn.
Okay.
You're not supposed to say that stuff when I take a drink of beer.
Okay, I'm gonna use produce flame again on the one that just attacked Sarah.
Okay.
Don't worry, I have an
Attack.
idea of maybe we can take 2 of them at least, calm them down for a bit.
Oh shit! Just barely. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
an AC of 17, so you just barely got it. All right, that'd be 14. Almost ate through the temporary hit points that it got. All right. Any bonus actions, movement, Fox?
I'm gonna move a bit higher up into the air.
Okay. I would say that's
not gonna
probably
do
a good idea because you
Yeah.
keep seeing these guys jump like they leap through the air like it's really not a big deal, which is a good thing that I don't know if you guys remember, but Justin pointed out last week. I was reading the standing leap thing as the long jump, which would have been 30 feet, which would have grabbed you guys right out of the air.
Yeah.
Which I was literally picturing like, yeah, Pogo's 25 feet. Like if he gets under him, you know.
Okay. And Sai's not gonna do anything right now because it's not a good time.
Okay,
It reminds me.
just going up 7 feet then, Fox. You got plenty of room. You can go up higher if you want.
I don't want to go up too high, so I'll just stay up here.
Okay.
There's like this old meme where it's like an animal fact where it's like lions can leap 20 up to 25 feet, and people are like, this motherfucker can jump over a house, and people are like, no, it's like a distance. This thing can't just jump
straight up in the air.
25 feet
Yeah.
straight up into the air.
It's not running up the side of skyscrapers and,
And then,
shit.
yeah, people were like making pictures or they're like jumping up over giraffes and shit.
All right, Norix Renji. You are still in the hole. You can hear the fighting above. You keep hearing the tunnels kind of rattle and shake and snow falling, drifting down from the ceiling as the fight. You know, these heavy beasts are clearly fighting on the ice above you. But you are basically just underneath one of the holes. Shoke is just ahead of you. You can climb up out of this. It won't take any action or anything to do so. It's just not hazardous, difficult terrain for that portion of it.
Okay, and over the hole is over where Shoke's sitting.
Well, yes. So you see the light directly in front of you. There's kind of this weird glowing light right in front of you. I just use those to mark where the holes are. So it's basically you're standing right next to it. Yeah. But I will tell you that looking up, you're literally looking up at the tail end of the snow shark that jumped up through the hole. So you can just barely get
Have it in
past
the
him.
butthole.
Okay, well that was 15 feet, so I'm gonna hop up.
Okay. All right. Then let me go ahead and move you over to the top side.
How high is the hole? How like?
So where these guys
does
break
Norak have to
through-
like duck, or is it like massive hole?
No, it's plenty wide. Yeah, there's plenty of shoulder room. Let's say so the diameter of the hole is plenty wide for him to be able to get through. But as far as the steps, let's say, to get back out, where the ice is broken, I'm just saying that they've essentially collapsed enough debris of ice that you can just walk right up it. It's just a matter of
I guess
terrain.
maybe I should reshape this question. Would Norak be able to attack it from inside the hole? Like just slice it right up the butthole, or is it not?
It's a bit more like a
above it enough?
staircase. Think of it more like a staircase. It's less like straight up and down than it is like a staircase leading up. So he would kind of be on the stairs and attack it. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So. What you doing, G?
I've got 2 options for my next turn.
Can I drink that Soul Fury potion as a free action still, or was that gonna take my action since I already hopped out of the hole too?
It's a bonus action. Anytime if you're drinking a potion yourself, we use it. The actual rules, it's technically an action, but we do. If you're drinking it, it's a bonus action. If you are trying to give it to someone else, it's an action.
Oh yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
you already explained that before, like last week.
Fine. You used to do it all the time in balance, but that was 3 years ago. So
Yeah, no, forgot about that. Okay, I am going to do that then, please, as my bonus action.
okay. Any actions?
Yeah, and then I am going to try to hit the one right in front of me.
All
Did anyone else lose the music, or was it just me?
I don't.
I
Oh,
don't
the
ever
music
have
disappeared.
music.
Can you replay the music, Jeremy?
It's
it
still
just shows
playing
it's
on my
paused.
side. It might. Let me turn it up a little bit. That might be too loud. Just tell me if you guys hear it.
Hey,
now.
there we go.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
it's
So,
not
okay, it was just quiet then. Yeah.
Well, no, it
It actually
I think
disappeared?
you jogged it. Well, it's just so 000 for the time that it was playing.
Oh.
I think you just adjusting a little bit fixed it. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
fixed
All I
the
did was
glitch.
turn the. I
You don't
bumped
understand.
the volume up.
Fixed the glitch.
Now
You're
that's
good.
actually one step too hot. There we go.
Perfect.
All right, cool. Then you have the Soul Fury on. It is a bonus action to do the breathing, but you can do that on your next turn, obviously. So you're going to hit
Yeah.
it with Sword of Swollen Hours. Okay.
Yep. I'm going to do Great Weapon Master and also Reckless Attack too. So
Okay. Reckless Attack won't help. Oh, wait. Yeah, Reckless Attack is. Yeah, but isn't just a bonus action attack?
No, the Reckless gives me advantage on this roll, and then I take disadvantage.
That's
on
right.
the
Yeah.
Next
Okay.
hit that something hits me. If it's on the same round.
Yeah, I was.
disadvantage.
Yeah, I was messing up or mixing up some of your abilities. You have so many barbarian abilities, so cool. That's good. Actually, it was a natural one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That hits. Go ahead and roll the damage.
Okay. Flame.
That's in half too. Remember, so
Yeah,
he is. Yeah, he is pretty wounded. He's bleeding pretty profusely from the slashing he's already taken. But he's like that. That won't bring him down. He's still, he's got about a quarter of his life left.
Okay.
Was that you spitting? Oh, that was the sword. Never mind.
Huh?
Oh, I thought he was drinking the potion and using the potion thing. I wasn't paying attention.
I have
was
to wait
reading
for the next
something
turn
else.
to read the fire.
Yeah. Yep.
Got it.
If you target him too, it'll play the animation. G. If you just
Oh, yeah.
double right click on anything, it'll target.
Okay.
I think it's double right click, isn't it? Shit, maybe not. I thought it was double right
It
click.
is. It's double right click.
Yeah, okay, yeah, then you should. There you go. Now you have it in. Yeah. Yeah, for me, double right click is something different, but for you guys, it should be just double right click, and then it would play an animation. Any for the majority of your abilities, at least. Are you gonna make your second attack, G?
Yeah. Did you add the Great Weapon Master onto that first one? I know it's
Oh
still.
shit, I did not. I did not know. So it'll be.
Would it
another
have hit
5 then.
still? With the -5, would it have still hit?
Yeah, it would have been an 18, so just barely. Yeah. Yep. I need to fix those macros for you. Sorry. All right, go ahead with your second.
Coming up.
Barely. Master's only the first one, or
Yeah, that's only I can only use it on the first.
okay, all right. Okay, just barely hits. Go ahead and roll your damage.
And then I'm just going to stay where I'm at. And I already did my bonus, so that is
Okay.
it.
Yeah, good roll.
Better damage roll that time. Yeah.
All right.
There we go. That is done. All right. That brings us to Sarah in mammoth form.
All right. I'm going to. What can I do? I can gore. So let's do this.
All right.
Just the one that's in front of me, not the one that just hit me, but the one I've been going on with.
Hell yeah.
Does the mammoth have multi-attack?
I don't think.
And
No, it has a trampling charge and a stomp that I can do if I charge,
Oh.
but
Oh, probably not a particularly great idea right now. You are
Yeah.
standing next to cracked ice right next to that one of them. In fact, actually, I forgot to do something after Ben's turn. So because I forgot, we're just going to leave it. Ben, I sent you a message there too.
Got it.
My own fault for forgetting. So, all right. 24 obviously hits. You're hitting the one directly in front of you. You said right?
yeah.
All right. I was typing something to Ben there. 27 in half. 13. So round up to 14. On this guy, there we go. Okay, bonus actions or movement.
Well, the mammoth doesn't have a bonus action, so nope. I'm just gonna stay right here.
All right. Then, as your turn ends, the snow shark that you kind of lift your tusk or trying to get underneath it, it spins in place. You still manage to tear a big gash in its flank, but it spins looking in your direction and is going to immediately spin like in a big circle surrounding you. Make a DC 15 con save.
So glad I stayed a little bit out of the way.
14.
Okay,
The creatures in a 20-foot radius, all creatures in the range must make a 20-foot radius would actually no, Artemis up too high. Technically the banjo, but really the only one that is radius is the mammoth.
You just hear
blinded.
sounds like pung, 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 pung.
Oh, can a banjo still play when it's blinded?
Well, that's what I was it's just being planked on by ice pieces, so it's making those sounds. Pung, pung, pung.
So you are blinded till the end of your next turn.
That's great.
Just wipe the snow
that on there.
out from without not
Without
hands
hands,
you don't
yeah,
have.
exactly.
Yeah.
I can use my trunk.
Yes, Sako.
Here, I'll click it on mine. Inventory.
Yeah, okay, yeah. If you,
I got you,
deleted out of
buddy.
his inventory when he used it. I didn't think about that though, so you can actually see how it works. All right, it is Shok's turn. Shok also is
There
going
you
to climb up through. So Sako, if you click where the word is, where it says Soul Fury in the chat there, if you click that, it'll expand it, or if it isn't already expanded anyways, then you can read all the text of how it works.
Got it. Thanks.
Yep.
I didn't even
thanks,
know
Joseph.
that. I thought it was. I've just always left it on expanded.
I have it set to collapse by default, and then I expand the ones that I want to. If I need the info, because usually I know what the stuff does, so I don't need it to, fill the whole chat. But Shok, climbing up out of the hole as best as he can, is going to try to take this one down with Norak here. Ben, you saw that message, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, with his great sword, I know it still says great axe, but 16, no good. Second attack.
That's him.
Also no good.
Slice his taint off.
Ben, give me a perception check. That is which one's turn? That is that's still good. It's right next to Ben. Oops. You got a perception check coming, G?
Yeah.
The snow shark next to you is going to roar around in your direction there. This, by the way, what he's going to do here is still the legendary action after Shok's turn. So these technically have what are called villain actions, which basically after any player's turn, the same way that legendary action works, they can do this, or do one of these things, which is what that spin attack was. He's going to Skull Bash Norok. So Ben, a DC 15 con save.
You got this. You got this.
It is his actual turn now too, but he's doing this after Shok, and then his actual turn's coming up.
These are neat little creatures. Are these default, or do you homebrew these creatures?
They are an elite version of a boulette already. So these guys, this party before Pogo and Nazim had joined, fought a wounded boulette in the desert a long time ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, these are an upgraded version of called a grand boulette. And then I,
Cool.
kind of reskin them to be snowy.
Yeah,
Let's see. So looks like nothing then. All right, so that's really good actually, because you would have been stunned and disoriented until the end of your next turn. He spinning around tries to kind of charge in your direction. You just kind of deftly jump out of the way. He is then going to try to snap a bite on you.
No.
16.
Maybe.
I think 16
That
is.
is my
It is
that is
okay.
my armor class.
That'll hit.
All right, regular then. Oh shit. 46 and a half, 23. 23 damage from the... you are raging still, right? Yeah, you raged early on. Okay, so 23 with that, and then he is going to also rend and tear, just like he did on the mammoth, as his bonus action. 26, I assume that'll hit as well.
Mm-hmm.
This one doesn't hit as hard, but 13. And you see those same frills kind of widen out as it gets stronger from the blood rage, healing itself a little bit. And up to the next one, which is in front of the
We're gonna
mammoth.
die from some stupid snow sharks. This is hilarious. Well, I'm not gonna die. I'm up in the air. I'll be fine.
Yeah, Arteme is too, actually, so they don't have a great shot.
Me and Arteme can maybe just go on an adventure after this.
This one is going to standing leap, jump at Nazim. He can't get high enough to get to Arteme or to Pogo, so he's going to leap in Nazim's direction. Deadly leap, not standing leap. This one. DC 16 dex save. Sako. Not with that.
Womp,
The
womp.
the creature crashes down on you, cracking that hole, the one that was already beside you, into a much wider one as you collapse into the tunnels below. It is quite a bit. So you're not resistant to either of those slashing or bludgeoning, I don't think. So it'll be 66 plus 8. No falling damage. That's all included in here. 35 damage, Sako. And you are knocked prone as well as you fall into the tunnels below. I'll move you over here in just a second.
Whee!
Almost in the same spot that Ben fell through the first time. Right over here. As you see Nazim float off into the distance. It looks kind of funny that he's just floating over the map.
Is the shark down there too?
Yeah, shark went through the hole
Okay.
as well. Yeah, he went down with him. Basically crashes into him and takes him down into the hole. It is now your turn, Sako. So you are down in the hole. In fact, actually, I had a VA for you guys. Let me find it. Not that you guys actually care, but when I put these together, half the time I forget to show them to you, so I wanted to try to remember this one.
Visual.
There you go.
Ooh, neat.
I photoshopped the grand
Hey,
bullet
it's a
picture
good
on
job.
top of a cave, so...
You did a pretty good job, man. Not bad.
I mean, honestly, the edges look like shit. Honestly, it doesn't look good at all.
But what
it's
I
still
like is
tolerable.
my favorite part is that like a real picture of a cave?
Yeah, it's a real picture of a cave with this cartoon image.
Yeah. Considering it's like a
Grass
real picture.
Yeah, exactly. The
considering it's
grass
a
around
real
its feet and everything.
It's not bad.
I thought it was fun. You know,
Yeah, you did a good job. Good job. I'll give you a high five.
I as long as I can make myself laugh, I'm enjoying
Yeah.
it. So.
I liked it.
And I just made that one bigger for where it
All right,
went
so
through.
the inspiration I have, that can be used to attack. Is that correct? For a attack roll?
So how it works is basically any D20 roll that you need to make, essentially. So an attack roll or a check or a save. You can also, if you roll it and you see that you failed, you can roll a D10 and add it to that and maybe succeed.
Yep.
So you can
On
choose if
pretty
you
much
want to use it.
Anything.
Yeah. Pretty much anything you roll a D20 for.
All right, I'm going to aggressively attack this person because it seems like his face and chest are facing me right now.
Okay.
So I will cast both Eldritch Blasts, all 3 for each blast, aiming to his chest.
Okay.
Then use my bonus action, close range flamethrower.
Okay. You are, you. I will say that you're like half underneath him, so you can get to the exposed belly pretty easily, or you can aim at the exposed belly. Let's say.
Music stopped again. I think it just stops after
Blast
10 minutes.
And the flame.
Okay.
To the chest, to the belly.
Did that fix it?
Yep.
Okay. Go right ahead, Sako. Nobody gets to see the cool animation except for you because you're down in the cave.
Oh, we can see it if we scroll to the right.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, cool. All right. Well, you'll get to see 3 of his purplish
Oh, yeah,
lightning
neat.
bolts. Yeah, 19 hits. Go ahead and roll all 3 of the blasts, and then you can roll the damage together too. Unless any of them crit, I guess. So.
So just hit damage now.
Do the attack again.
It's just more
We'll just see
efficient.
if all 3 of them hit. Yeah, if we just do them all together. Natural 20. So, okay. Well, yeah, go ahead and hit the attack one more time. And a 17. All right, so all 3 hits. So click the attack button, and then click normal, click attack, and then normal, and then attack, and then critical. Oh, shit. Sorry. I said attack. I meant damage. So ignore those rolls there. You can click the Eldritch Blasting again if you want, just so you can get the damage button close by without having to scroll back up. If you want to. But click the damage, and then normal, damage, and then normal, and then damage, and then critical. All right, 12 for the first one. That should actually be 13, because your glove, I think it's your Lotharis. No, is it? It's your Shavar and Birch Ring. That's what it is. Anytime you do force damage, right?
Yeah. And then 1 more normal, and then 1 more critical.
Yeah. Damage to 1 damage roll the spell. Okay, so it's just 1 anyways. All right. Yep. So go ahead. So 13 plus 15 is 28. Go ahead and roll the last one.
Oh.
Yeah, the
The
critical.
last one is a critical.
All right. So 28 plus 15, and then go ahead and do your fire breathing. So that's
And-
41 already.
And what's the die for that?
Was it 3d6? I think.
He has to do a saving throw. I think a dex saving throw or something, and then it's either 4 or 2, depending on if he succeeds. I think is what it is.
Okay. Here,
I can click it again. I think I forgot to erase it from my inventory.
I
I'll click
just got to it when I scrolled up here. Yeah, DC 13 dex save, 46 on a fail, or half as much on a success. And you can do it up to 3 times. So each turn you can do it once as a bonus action. So DC 13 dex save for this creature. He's looking pretty rough already, Sako. So he's not quite dead, but he's getting there. DC 13. Failed. Got an 11. No modifier for his deck, so he fails. So go ahead and roll 4d6, Sako. So at the bottom, you can either type it or in the buttons that are below the combat box there, the one that looks like a square. If you just click it 4 times, it'll say 4d6 in the box.
Okay, this is 4. Says
Okay.
it now.
Okay, go ahead and click the roll button. There you go. Oh shit, you rolled really well. Sorry, 17 more.
You rolled really well on one of the Eldritch Blasts too.
Yeah, he did, and a crit too. He's not looking good. He's still alive, but he's the closest of the 3 by far. Like you just did a shit ton of damage to him all in one round, actually, because he was pretty healthy before that. All right, so that was action, bonus action. Now movement. He's not pinning you down. He is like standing above you, but he's large enough that you can, stand up if you want to. It takes half your movement to do so.
Yeah, let's stand up and get prepared.
Okay. So you're just going to stand up in his face. You're not going to try to move away.
Yeah, I don't need an opportunity attack yet.
Yeah, I was going to say if you do, obviously it would provoke. So, all right. He's going to spin. Give me a DC 15 con save.
Get it. You still have your +10 if you need it. D10. Oh, you're good.
16. Just you made it so you still have your inspiration too, Sako. So keep that in mind. Yeah.
Sounds good.
He spins in place, kind of exposing himself for a second as he kind of rotates, knocking against the ice walls here. I knew you'd giggle at that. He kind of smashing against the ice wall. You see like the beginnings of this thing, this whole tunnel, this whole system of tunnels here, beginning to collapse around you. But he is not able to. You kind of shield your eyes just in time to protect him from splashing ice in your eyes. Back to Pogo.
All right. I am going to start by attacking again with Spiritual Banjo.
Fox, there's another snow shark and then it's you
guy.
after that.
Okay.
Come on. Oh, I can't because he's targeted.
I'm just gonna keep using what's effective.
Do you have any bigger fire things, or is Produce Flame your biggest fire spell?
It's a cantrip,
Oh,
and I don't
it's not
have
my
anything
turn,
else that
Yeah.
does fire.
Yeah, I don't know if you had anything fire prepared anyways. There isn't a whole lot of options for Druid.
There's not
So-
really much fire for Druid at all, like even in my list.
Yeah.
I'm actually I'll start with casting Toll of the Dead. I'll reach out my hands and cast Toll of the Dead on the bullet right next to the mammoth.
Okay.
And see if he can do a 17 wisdom save.
14 fails.
And so we'll attack him with that first. And for some reason I can't move my banjo. It's saying it's not its turn. So if you want to just move the banjo, it would move it right up next to the other snow shark. And then the banjo will attack as my bonus action.
I think it's fixed now. You should be able to move it now.
Oh, okay. Patoo!
Yep. Okay. It was an add-on thing. It was a setting I got to change. All right. 22 damage to him then.
Yep.
You guys were doing like no damage to him. Like, oh, sorry, half damage. Yeah. So you
I
were
was
doing
gonna
like
say,
no
I
damage.
don't know
to
if
him
that
last time,
does full
yeah.
damage or not. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're curious,
shit,
by the
that's
way,
necrotic. Hang on, that's
I was
necrotic
gonna say
anyway.
it's necrotic damage.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it's. I don't know what hurts it or not.
It's
but
not resistant.
I
to
figured I'd
necrotic.
take a shot.
Yeah.
All right. Why can't I find my spiritual banjo to click on?
I assumed it would just be bludgeoning, but
Is it force
there it is.
damage?
no. It's specifically in this case. It's specifically necrotic.
Okay. Well, I meant the banjo.
Force.
No, the banjo is just physical. So the or
Toll the Dead. That's right. Never mind. Yeah.
Toll the
Okay,
Dead
yeah.
is
Toll the
should
Dead
be
is necrotic.
full,
Okay,
but
yes, that makes sense. That is what I
this
thought it
is
was.
half.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. All right. There we go.
Go ahead and roll your attack. Oop, there you
Hey,
go.
finally. It's not much, but still.
Yeah, so
five
that's
more
in half.
damage.
Yeah. Yep.
And I am going to, let's see, I'm 25 feet up. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fly over. The mammoth is still upright, right?
For now.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and jump on your back as Pietro continues next to this boulette. And Pietro is going to go ahead and try to use his multi-attack to attack this creature as well.
All right.
Since I'm feeling less concerned. So I'm now on the back of the mammoth, and Pietro
Which
is going to rip at it with its teeth.
Is freaking out because she can't see, so she don't know what's landing on her back.
There's a gnome-sized lump on her back.
You don't even feel it. Weigh 38 pounds. I feel like a clump of snow.
3 more damage from the beak. And 14, so that won't hit. Okay.
Yep, so Pietro is now on the ground, or at least hovering around where this other boulet is.
Yeah, he could be flapping, 5 feet off the ground or something. That's fine.
Yep.
Okay.
And that is the end of my turn.
All right. We just you know that you're under the mammoth. I don't have the add-on installed for.
Well, I know that I'm on the mammoth.
I mean, as far as your token.
Yeah,
your token is underneath the mammoth. That's all. All right, this one. Oh, well, it is the one that is you were just hitting. Doing your best to, anyways. It is going to seeing still this.
If nothing else, it's got like another target. So.
Well, I mean, as far as the eyes of this predator, it's still just the one target. It probably isn't looking at you for much meat when this mammoth is this big. You wouldn't be much of a snack. He is going to immediately deadly leap straight back into the mammoth again, though. DC 16 strength, if you want, Becky. Oh shit!
Yeah.
Natural 20.
Oh yeah.
All right, so it's still half damage. You know what? Because you got a natural 20, I'm going to say no damage from the deadly leap. It still is going to push you away with Pogo atop. But
to the haw!
Nobody ever gets a 20 on a save, so I figured we've got to reward that a little bit.
That is very rare.
Yeah. It is still going to rend and tear, though.
Mm-hmm.
18.
Oh yeah, I think my AC's like 13. Yeah.
Yeah, you said it was really low.
You're basically a giant shag carpet.
Uh huh.
So 8 more, and he heals again. And that is it for
I'm guessing
turn.
it's still within range of the griffin. It didn't leave for a reaction from my griffin.
You know what? It does move when it does. Hang on. Standing leap. If he does that, you can do it without provoking an opportunity attack, but he has to use it as a bonus action. I think deadly leap still does. It doesn't say anything, so yeah. Go ahead and make your attack with the.
It's not going to be much, but he's just going to go ahead and tear at it with its claws.
Maybe at least take off
it runs around.
the healing that he's got. So 17, that'll hit.
Ew.
12 more. All right, well, 6 more.
So 6 more. Yeah. Good job, Pietro.
Not quite all of the temporary hit points that he got back, but still some. All right, Fox, go ahead.
Okay.
All right, that'll hit. Which one, actually, you're aiming at?
The one closer to Sarah.
Okay. Ben, they're just leaving you to just deal with that one by yourself.
Yeah, me choked at it.
Yep. 14.
Better idea until one got sucked down into the holes.
Yeah. I keep trying to get trying to get you guys to go down into the tunnels, but they keep I'm doing it obviously, trying to force you guys down into the holes, but only Ben and Nazim so far. All right, Fox. Bonus actions or movement?
No.
All right. Size not doing anything.
Nope.
All right. That
These
brings us back
guys
to
are
Nora.
way too dangerous. She'd be like a tiny little appetizer. No, thank you. I don't want to die.
Probably,
again.
yeah. If anything, she'd be just stomped into the snow and forgotten about.
You're gonna come up on me with this giant mammoth. I feel very safe up here.
What you doing, G?
It's a good place to be.
All right. I know these things can't be knocked prone, but do I remember, or would I know if I can flip them over? Is it possible to do that? Like,
yeah, basically you can't. That's part of why they can't be knocked prone. If you have an ability that would knock them prone, then that would allow you to expose their belly. If you're specifically trying to do something, tell me what it is, and we'll give you a DC and figure out.
Yeah, just to see if I can get up under him and flip him over physically. I just didn't know if that would work since he's technically immune to being prone. I just didn't know if that would work.
Yeah, part of the reason that
I'd exposed.
Yeah, part of the reason that I'd mentioned that I sent you that, G, was because you were coming up from underneath the hole and you already could see his belly. You just didn't think about that. So I kind of sent you that as a reminder. Like you could have had it on that turn if you had remembered, but since you didn't remember it from when Becky was attacking it last time and when I'd mentioned it in the intro there. Then I was going to give you the free attack, but otherwise, yeah. If you're trying to specifically or trying to do something to to flip it over, then let me know, and we'll give you a check for it or whatever.
Yeah, I will see if I can get up under him and flip him over. Then that's my action.
Okay. Just wrestling style. Like, how are you going to try to do this?
See if I can grab him like flipping a tire, and see if I can get my hands up under him and deadlift and flip him.
Okay. Okay.
Like
Right.
you're pulling up a
Yeah,
big
tire
tire.
roll.
Yeah.
Right. Give me because I would say that you would normally have advantage on something like this. Of course, also being raging, but it would be a disadvantage because he's fucking huge. So
Yeah.
we'll call it a flat roll, and it's still a decently high DC. We'll call it a 16 on a regular strength check, and it will be in place of your attack. It's like a grapple check, is what you're trying. So it'll be contested. So 14. Let's see what he gets. Skill, nope, not skills. Checks, strength. Yeah, he succeeded. You grab under his arm as best you can, trying to push him over, and he just sinks into the breaking snow where this hole already is, just kind of falling into it, beginning to kind of scrap his back legs like a dog that's trying to trying to get out of a pool, and is not able to get out of it, but he's not spun either. Bonus actions.
I'm going to breathe fire on him then.
Okay. DC 13 was it?
I think so.
Oops, wrong one. Just basically makes it 13. So not only did they leave you to your own devices to deal with this guy, but you're so far not having much success there. Any movement, G?
No, it still does half, right?
Oh shit, yeah, it does. Sorry, yeah. So 2d4 or 2d6, sorry.
And then I am just gonna wait here. Yeah.
Okay.
Not bad.
Right here.
7, and that's full. That's not in half. So he's actually not in great shape. I mean, you've got he got some of his health back at the last turn, and now he's back down. So okay, that if your turn then.
Yeah.
All right, back to the mammoth. Becky, you are still blind as this mammoth, feeling this awkward pogo-shaped lump on the back of your neck.
Yep, I'm just gonna swing my tusk around and hope I hit something.
Okay, I would say you can still kind of just tell that he's in front of you. So when you're blinded, any attack rolls at disadvantage, but you can still try because you still have a general idea of where he is.
All right, it gives me the option of disadvantage on here, right?
Yeah, just click attack and then click advantage or click disadvantage. Yeah.
Ooh. Oh,
21 still hits. All right. Go ahead and roll the damage.
All right.
Oh shit, that's got a 10-foot range. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, she's big. All right, 10 more damage to him.
All right. And that's it for my turn, but I hate to do this, guys. I need to take a 5-minute break. My work has called me like 3 times.
Okay,
so.
yeah, go ahead.
Take a quick break.
We'll take it down
I'll
to
be
the
back.
7th. Yeah, quick 5.
Be right back.
Bye.
Sorry, I didn't know that would work. Yeah.
There we go. All right. So Jeremy, you know how you had to leave for the game on Thursday?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I had something I want to tell you.
You said
You
that
didn't-
they
like, there was
were
no
arguing
battles
over
or anything.
ships.
Yeah, they were just being goofy. Like, so because they told all the halflings where the boat was, but didn't like go with them. No one went with them to make any introductions or anything. Like, then they went and explored the south of the island looking for. You missed a decent chunk between the two games, but they went looking for this dragon or this dragon's lair at least.
Mhm.
So they went there and did a bunch of stuff, and I'll fill you in on that later. But when they came back, the ship was gone, and
Our ship? The
yeah, your guys' ship was
bottom beater.
gone.
I was
And
thinking
what's
of it as the
funny
bottom
is
beater. I know it's not the name,
The
but
group, like Steven was like, we should have fucking murdered all those little fucking like they start freaking out and like they were trying to figure out
okay.
what to do.
Not the boat left, but left with the halflings. Like the halflings.
Like the halflings were gone and the boat was
Okay.
gone, and so it wasn't like, so what's funny is like finally after a decent amount of time of trying to figure out what to do, Victor turned into a falcon and they can fly at like 80 feet per second or whatever, and so eventually he found the ship, but he didn't take the rocky top. It was literally like right to the north of the island,
comedy of
going to
errors.
drop them off, basically just drop them off like on the mainland so they could walk to Daggerford or whatever. So he like lands and he's like about to murder all these halflings that are just like half starved sitting on the boat, like just like not doing nothing
They
wrong.
were prisoners 10 minutes ago too.
So, but then he was on the boat and Tyleth was like, "Yeah, we're gonna turn around." Like, I don't know, they just came up to the boat, like we're just getting them to safety. But then he had no way of letting the rest of the group know. So the rest of the group started to go to the other side of the island and found like the goblin boats that were left there to go to the mainland over there.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was some miscommunication because they were like, "Well, wait, where's Tor?" And I was like, "Tor's like 2 fucking hours away on a boat to the north. Like, you guys don't know this."
Yeah.
It's just funny to me they were arguing because Tian just wanted to get on these boats and go to the forest where it was destroyed and stuff like that. And
Yeah, the trollbark.
yeah, Tor finally used, because they didn't really know where they wanted to go, because like they didn't. No one talked to the halflings about like anything else. No one talked to the goblins about anything else. Like, there just weren't a lot of other ideas on where they were going to go. But he finally used Talk with Plants. I've been waiting for him forever to use Talk with Plants. It's such a handy fucking spell.
He had
when
it
you're trying to
prepared
figure out
though, or
what
did
to
you
do.
just hand wave it and let him?
No, he had it prepared. It was because they slept.
actually
Once
had it
they
prepared.
finally
He did
finally
it on
figured
purpose,
out
okay.
their
Yeah.
boating situation, they ended up waiting for the boat, and then sleeping on the boat overnight. And so he re-prepared because they knew they had no idea where they were looking. And they were like, "Shit! Like we haven't talked to anybody about fucking anything."
Mhm.
The next step. Anyways,
Murder
though.
hobos for you.
The dragon one, with the conversation with the dragon, I think you would have liked. Becca I made it RP enough. I did enough RP to where, like, I started to get teary eyed about the whole situation that was happening, and like I created like enough of a backstory where Becca like got flustered and like she got a little emotional with it. She's like, I don't know what. Yeah, it was nice. It was cool. It was I like those little moments. We don't get a lot of them, but it's nice when we have them.
I'm back.
Cool.
Everything okay?
Oh yeah, no, it's just the stuff that anything small turns into a huge ordeal. She didn't need to call. It's fun.
Cool. I hear Ben back.
Yeah.
She could have just.
Snack machines out of Snickers. What do we do?
She found an ibuprofen on the floor in the bathroom. I was like, yeah, I dropped it and couldn't find it. It's not a big deal.
Was the worry that one of the inmates, not inmates, what's the word? Patients is probably a better word for that. But
Didn't get their
had-
ibuprofen and has a slightly achier back.
Well, I was more
guess-
thinking that they had them and they're not supposed to or something.
Well, I
don't
guess
know.
he had found it and brought it to her, but it's still not a big deal because none of them take ibuprofen, so it's obviously not any of their stuff.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like a box of Vicodin.
Yeah.
Heroin. Fox, Sako, you guys back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay. Sako,
Yep, back.
All right, then let's go ahead and get back into it here. It is Shulk's turn, actually. He is going to... I probably could have done this while you guys were AFK, but he's going to go ahead and try to make his swings with his actual great sword that looks like a great axe for some reason. Hey, he actually get to hit something for once.
Yeah, good job, Joke.
Yeah. I mean, he did good in the Zenithville fray, but not here. So he's not been doing good here so far. Well, shit, he's not dead, but he's done. The Snow Shark is definitely in bad shape. Second attack. They could probably macro these and make them a little quicker. 12 will not hit. That is it for his turn. At the end of his turn, the Snow Shark in front of him, which is actually is going to spin in Shulk's direction and is going to try the same thing that he tried against Norok, a Skull Bash headbutt. Well, it was a DC 15 con save. You got a 14. Ben, and probably, I mean, Pogo, if you were looking in that direction, Arteme, you can definitely see it in that direction. A particularly gory display as this large snow shark, very, very heavy armored beast, tries to headbutt Shulk, and the neck separates. Shulk's head is not directly connected, remember. Yeah, I mean, it's not connected very well. His head flings backwards, kind of laying on his back, essentially. So the back of his head is touching, like, between his shoulder blades, as he is stunned and disoriented until the end of his next turn.
Well, I imagine losing your head would stun you.
I mean, for most, I would say for most, yeah. You know, even for a Revenant. I mean, it doesn't kill him or anything. He's not actually dead, but still, you know, decent damage anyways for him.
We can throw it back on.
I mean, on his turn when he's not stunned, he could probably lift it back the way that he did when he showed Pogo, but it's still some fucked up. Actually, and now it is that Snow Shark's turn. So he is going to rend and tear at Shulk, and then is going to spin and try to bite Norok. 19 will hit Shulk, so he's going to get the heal as well. 9 damage, so not much, but a little there. And he will heal. He keeps going up and down in his health. You guys need to actually kill him. Gee. You just gotta do it by yourself. Shulk doesn't get very many hits in. Especially when he doesn't have a head on. 17? 16 was your AC, right, G?
Yeah.
Alright.
And I'll use my tribal endurance on this.
Okay. 20 damage. Well, 10. Yeah, cut in half is 10 for your rage. So 10 damage, and then go ahead and do your tribal endurance if you want.
Okay.
And that brings us to the other snow shark over here. The one that is down in the hole with Nazim. Shit, this one is really close to death. Yeah, go ahead and roll your heal, G. That is your reaction, so keep that in mind. You don't have your reaction anymore. Hey, good roll, though. The one in the hole with Nazim is going to lash out and try to bite you, Sako.
All right.
For 16, which will hit. I think your AC is 13, right?
13.
All right. Then the bite.
And I can't use my my inspiration for that either. Not for saving, right?
Not for an attack roll. Yeah, if it was a save, then you could. Yeah, for a direct attack, it's just against your AC. That's 34 damage. And he is going to rend and tear.
How much damage?
34 for the bite.
I'm down to 9 hit points. I'm about to die.
Well, you lucked out
What?
because rend and tear missed, which is the thing that would have healed him if that had hit. Rend and tear, you got a 10. Your AC is 13.
Are these fuckers just eating us and then like, I feel healthy again.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's supposed to be like a blood rage kind of thing. Like every time they cause blood with that specific ability, then they get a heal. It's a 15 temporary hit points, so it's not a whole lot. But he only has 11 left right now, so he's in bad shape. And that's it for his turn. So it is yours now, Nazim. As long as you can kill him, or if you're going to anyways, then you're probably okay. Otherwise, this could end real badly.
You got like Hellish Rebuke? You don't got Hellish Rebuke on that shit? Shit.
Hellish Rebuke is it's typically a warlock thing. Yeah.
It's fire.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the exact same thing as last time.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure I can knock him down with this one.
Your odds are pretty good. I'm doing 11. He's got 11. He's in very bad shape. So if he had gotten that rend and tear off, you might not have been able to kill him. But
I won't use the flamethrower thing unless I need it. But I'll just chuck
Sure.
all the Eldritch blasts at him.
Yeah, you can choose afterwards anyway. So if those don't hit, you can still breathe on him. There's some purpley lightning. That one hits. Roll the second one.
Pew pew pew.
That will also hit. And roll your third. All three hit, just barely. Go ahead and roll damage 3 times. Well, that did it.
Nice.
The first one was enough. I mean, technically, you know what? Okay, I had you roll all those, but I probably shouldn't have because he was already low health anyways, and you knew it. You technically still have 2 Eldritch Blasts, so you could move. Well, shit, no, you couldn't, because when you cast it, you have to cast all 3. Never mind. So it wouldn't matter in this case. If you were up top and you wanted to aim the other 2 at a different beast, you could. But since you can't see any others, you can't move and then resume the rest of the cast. If that makes sense, because you have to do it all from, in the same action. But anyway,
Just hit him 3 times anyways. Light the motherfucker up.
just makes extra sure that he's dead. You sending the bolts of electrical energy into him. Necrotic electrical energy. He is...
God, good rolls.
Yeah, rolled really well. Remember your first one. Anytime you're rolling your Eldritch Blast, Sako, your first one is always +1 damage too. I saw that in your inventory today, and I'd forgotten about it for a long time. It's only the first of however many you do, but it's still an extra point every turn, assuming you hit something anyways. He is dead, so you still have your action, or your bonus action rather, and your movement. Turning behind you, you can see the hole that Norak climbed out of earlier. You can hear fighting coming from just above that hole. You know that there's another one there, but you can see some light coming from the south of you too. So there looks like there's multiple ways to climb out of this. There's one over the corpse to the southeast. So Sako, do you see? No, you don't see my cursor. I forgot I have it turned off over here. I'm gonna go ahead and draw circles real quick where the lights are that you can use to climb out if you want to. So there's one there. Do you see that to the southeast?
No.
Okay. Well, there's one almost directly south. You'd have to go around the tunnel. There's one to the southeast, and one to the northwest, and another to the northeast.
All right, I'll run to the northeast then, or northwest. Sorry.
Yeah, northwest is the closest one to you. So. Yeah, so you can make it just to the hole, which will put you kind of underneath Norak and the snow shark that's directly above. But you won't be able to climb out until your next. Well, you'd need it would be more movement basically to get out. So you're fine right there. You do still have your bonus action, and you are directly underneath this one. You want to do anything with your bonus action?
Bonus actions, I can't use it to climb, right?
No, you would need movement. You'd need more motion or more speed to climb. But you do still have your fire breathing up, and you're directly underneath one of the others if you wanted to.
I can't see if I'm near anything, so...
Well, okay, so on here, I'm going to move you real quick, just temporarily, and then I'll put you back. Where you are is right underneath that guy, the one that I just moved you over. So he's kind of half blocking the hole. Norak is fighting him along with Shok right there. You're just underneath him inside the hole. I'm going to put you back. So you can basically see his belly while he's fighting with Norak.
Gotcha. Am I able to spit fire up that thing?
Yep.
Let's chuck some fire up there.
Okay.
Great,
So it's a DC 13
yo.
dex. DC 13, right? Yeah. I failed. You got a 3. So roll 46. And it's fire damage, so 16, 30, 32. Nazim from inside the hole managed to kill 2 of these bastards back to back. Does
it like fall through the ice? Or is it just...
Probably. I mean, it's because it's like barely standing over the hole that it already created. I will say that Nazim, you're able to kind of just move out of the way as it slumps down into the hole, and the corpse starts to slide down the kind of ramp that it had created. Right in front of you, but the corpse is kind of blocking the hole enough. You can still climb back up it to get out, but it is dead in front of you.
Sounds good. I'll just kind of eyeball a soft piece of skin or something that I can kind of save for later.
All right, let's see if there's any of this armory skin that you want. All right. That it for your turn?
That's it.
Okay. Back to Pogo.
Seeing that my fancy new ride looks pretty damaged, I'm going to go ahead and hold my Lithic of Life Thieving Stone against its furry skin, and then I'm going to go ahead and cast my new favorite fucking spell, Toll the Dead, to give me a 17
you
wisdom
all of a
save.
sudden realize that this is a really good spell.
This is a
Especially for
great,
a
yeah,
cancer.
just like, in fact, I'm going to do this. I'm going to say a little prayer and be like, I don't know you, but this is working out pretty fucking well.
Did you not realize that it was Sarah that turned into a mammoth?
Oh, no, I did. But
Oh,
like,
you mean
this
the prayer. Okay, gotcha.
So this way, not only do I get to do damage, but I also get to heal her by 22 points.
Oh yeah,
With my
yeah.
Lithic of Life Stealing, because it's a cantrip and it's lower than first level. So
You used to use that a good bit and have it for a while, but it is a really powerful magic
Well,
item. So when you
yeah,
can do good damage with a cantrip, it's really good.
the problem is I'm usually not next to people.
Yeah,
I'm
true.
like, I've used it a couple times where people are like at 0 hit points, and I'm like, I run to them and do it and then use it.
Yeah.
But the problem is a wisdom save on a dumb fucking animal like this is a lot easier than a trying to just hit him with
That's true.
attack
A lot of the
spell,
enemies you guys fight, are
because these guys have high
high.
AC, but they're just dumb as shit.
Yep. So
So that does damage there,
22.
and then
22 to him.
we
He's just past. He's a little ways past bloodied. He's
and then I'm
one-third
going to
hit
go
points.
ahead and have Pietro move next to him. And go ahead and Pietro will do his 2 attacks, his beak and claw attack.
Okay.
You gonna roll? Yeah, there we go.
Which one? Or I'll just mark him dead.
All right,
Oh,
Pietro.
19, that hits. That hits.
Just peck him right in the asshole.
All right, 6 damage.
And then he's going to attack with his claws. All right, now just claw him up real good like. Maybe somewhere around its side areas. Not there, you idiot.
Yeah, that one didn't seem to do much. All right, that's your turn.
My bonus action, my banjo. I've
Yeah,
got
that's right.
so much happening.
Oh, all of your little pets they're not doing
Yeah.
a lot, but it's still something. It still adds up.
Yeah, they're there. So, come on, banjo, swing it right in his eyeball.
Little Pogo doesn't do much on his own, but he's like a commander. He's standing back and sending his forces.
But at least I'm still riding my dude here. So
Yep.
that is the end of my turn.
And the mammoth has been healed a little bit too. So
Yeah, a little bit.
all right, it is this one's turn. The one that's directly in front.
He's gonna try to take a bite out of you again.
He's going to he's going to leap around. Oops, am I in the wrong one? Yeah, there we go. Leap around to this side with deadly leap, trying to crash into you again. Still DC 16, so strength if you want to. Pietro will get an attack of opportunity if you want to use it too, Soko.
Oh yeah,
Justin.
let's beak it up. Peck at his asshole as he's running away. Right in there. Get deep. Oh
13 will not hit. Yep.
nope.
But it's still half damage.
You still standing strong?
12 damage to the mammoth. Less than what you healed it, at least.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm at 63. We're good. I'm pretty sure that's more than what Sarah's at herself.
I'm kind of liking this Toll the Dead Lithic of Life Stealing combo. It's a good combo.
Yeah, that is definitely a good combo, yeah. Any
Damn it.
good damage dealing would be a really good attack with it. Damage dealing cantrip, rather. And so 15 more damage, and of course he gets another heal. Another 15, which puts him just barely below bloodied, so he's still a little under half hit points. And that is it for its turn. Fox, it's your turn. You can't see him. You can't get a great shot where he's at right now. The mammoth is kind of in the way, but you can fly left or right or something to get better shot at him.
Okay. There's none left near Norrock and Shop, right?
Yeah, that one's dead. It kind of fell into the hole there. Nazim was crashed in and knocked into the bottom there, and one of the snow sharks was down with him. And then now you can see through that big hole that you were by. That one's dead, and the other one by Norark is dead.
Okay,
So natural one.
of course.
Had to
course.
have
Are you within? Are you within
Yeah.
30 feet of me? Oh no, you're flying. Actually, 5, 10, 15.
You're on the mammoth's
Eh.
back, who is probably 12 feet. I'd say it's just barely within 30 feet.
If you want, yeah. If Jeremy will allow it, I'll just stare at you and be like,
go
not today.
Okay. I'll reroll.
So if you roll a 1 producing flame, does that just cause rain?
Yeah, it's the antithesis of flame.
Yeah.
That'll hit. Go and roll the damage, Fox.
And then I'm
Alright.
gonna use healing word on the mammoth.
Okay. That was 20 damage to the snow shark. Go ahead and roll your healing word.
I mean, you guys know that if the mammoth dies, it's fine. I'll still be me.
Yeah, but
Except for
how much
Sarah.
more
Sarah will
fun would
probably
it
just.
be?
Yeah, Sarah will disappear real fast. And on top of that is right now, if the mammoth dies, like Pogo's going with it. Like,
Yeah, but how much fun would it be to just like have a mammoth while we're walking on whatever next areas we got to go?
Dude, this
That sounds
lasts
like
for an
fun.
hour.
I've
So?
definitely paid money at the zoo to ride a fucking elephant when I was a kid, so I don't remember it being a blast.
what would the fee
so.
for mammoth riding be? It's
At
got to be up
least
there.
a shekel.
All right, that it for you, Fox?
Yep.
All right, that brings us to Norok.
Okay. I don't even know if I can get there. I'll try anyway, though.
You can go diagonally, G, as long
Okay.
as you don't abuse it. Justin, I meant to mention this a couple weeks ago in your game. Technically, so Leah had abused one of the rules. I think I was on the phone at the time, and I was going to say something, but I didn't think about it until I was already off the phone rather. The moving diagonally, it's supposed to be rules as written is every other square costs 10 feet. And that's how you
Yeah.
prevent people from like cheating by just moving diagonally to go much further. I just in my game, it's always just been, as long as you don't abuse it, it's fine. You just don't go diagonally to get further and then zigzag your way across, things like that.
Yeah, she literally went.
She didn't mean to. She just she was
No,
just,
no. I was
trying
like,
to get as
that's
far as
okay.
possible. Yeah,
Doesn't
it
matter.
totally made
Yeah.
sense. I was just gonna let you know at least for what it's supposed to be. I just don't bother using that just because every other square takes forever to do the math on.
All right, I think I can get about here. So if I dash, so.
Okay. All right.
And,
Bonus action then.
Actually, what did it say the distance on that flame? I didn't look.
15 feet, I think.
Haha.
15 feet cone. I think it's a decent radius too. So
Okay.
Yeah, it's just dragon's breath, isn't it?
it's
think
it's
so.
basically Dragon's Breath as a
Yeah,
potion.
it's a 15-foot cone.
Yeah.
And I will use that. I think I've got 1 or 2 more charges. of that.
At least one more. I think 2 more though.
Yeah, I think I only used it once, so
Yeah.
I'm going to use that.
Okay. Go ahead.
He's
Oh,
got
he's got to make a save. Yeah.
13.
There we go. They're not very dexterous either, so you guys are kind of playing to their weakness. Just barely succeeded. So 2d. Sorry, it's still 46. It's just half damage. So roll 46.
Oh, okay.
I didn't realize there was electric guitar in this song. All right, so 6. Ran up to 7 actually. So 7 damage. But it's fire, which rounds it right back up. So it's 13
Oh,
damage.
okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Which he's not looking great. He's in rough shape, guys. He's pretty close.
Sweet.
All right.
Oh,
That for
is it
Norok,
really
then?
that hard to just murder this thing?
Get it, man.
They have like all the things that make it harder for Norok to kill him, though. Like they
Yeah.
kind of need, unless you can get to the belly, then it'd be like Norok could one shot him if they could hit him in the belly.
Oh no,
13 will not go.
fuck. Well, that's my turn.
All right.
And next person.
Shok, at the end of his turn, is no longer stunned. He can't do anything. He's just standing over there as they.
Did he at least get to put his head back
Well,
up?
no. I mean, he's stunned until the end of his turn, so his head is still stuck behind him until he can actually move, which is not now.
What's
So-
funny to me about this is that he's not prone. He's just standing there for 6 seconds.
Yeah, it doesn't
with
knock him
his
prone.
head
It just says stunned
facing-
and stunned and.
It's like, oh my god, the world flipped over.
Yeah, he's seeing everything upside down, I guess.
What is happening?
All right, Nazim, it is your turn. You can climb up out of the hole. It'll take half your movement, or it'll take double movement rather, because it's difficult terrain. But you can climb up until you're on the surface if you want.
Let's climb out.
All right, then that will be maybe we'll call it 20 feet of your movement to get there, 15 feet of your movement to get there.
All right, let me measure this out.
Yeah, you just barely have a clear shot between Norok, who just tried to breathe fire at it, and the mammoth there.
All right, I'm within range, so I'm going to thread the needle and chuck all 3 Eldritch Blasts. I'm out of range for flames, so it's just going to be a blast.
Through the mammoth?
Oh, well, you targeted the other one, the one on the other side. Target this one, yeah, and untarget the other one. There you go. Here, in fact, I think I can just delete. Yeah, I'll just delete them off. Just so the art isn't going across the map there. There you go. 13 misses, 12 misses. Try your last one. There you go. That one hits. Yeah, go ahead. You can use so the 13. You'd need to roll a 4 or higher. So roll a d10 for the inspiration that Pogo gave you last week. There you go. All right. So 2 of them hit. All right. So roll damage twice.
Score me. All right, so 2 damage, regular, normal damage, right?
Yep. Yeah, you roll the damage and then normal and do that twice. All right, so that'll be 14 technically, and then
this might be
6.
one of the very few battles that Norok just couldn't really.
Well,
contribute
the
as
thing
much.
is, yeah, he couldn't have just because of their resistance and stuff like that. And then on top of that, he didn't roll real well. Like he was getting some shitty rolls there too. All right, so guys, real quick on that math, just so you guys see that the first one, he has a item called the Shavaran Birch Ring that the first time he does force damage in a round, it adds 1.
+1.
So the first one's 14, the second one's 6. Got that? Everybody got that?
Yeah, it's 20.
It's 20, and this is how much the shark had left. So literally, he had 20 hit points left, and Zako just did 20, which means Nazim got all 3 kills on these snow sharks.
Nice! What? GG, buddy. GG.
All right.
Oh, music stopped
if I could
again.
find. Well, I didn't stop it, but we'll be here. I just started it again, but we'll be jumping to a different music track since you guys won't be presumably in battle for the moment, at least. If I can find the right one. There it is.
See, not that one. Knows things, man.
Knows killing snow armor creatures. That's too loud.
Great
turn that down.
Assembling living things.
Especially when they've got special skin that you might like.
Absolutely.
All right. So the well, shit. Okay, couple things then. In the kind of battle haze right behind you, Nazim, you kind of looking over your shoulder, you see a pretty frozen in place standing there Shok. You see that the arms kind of begin to move, the shoulders begin to move a little bit. His head is still kind of stuck behind him, and he kind of slowly reaches one hand up, grabs his head, lifts it back forward, and until it's resting back in place again. On where it belongs, on his neck, where it's supposed to be.
Nice trick.
He kind of shakes his head a little bit. Says they're unusual for them to be so far down the mountain, but vicious beasts.
Did you guys check out my new ride? Check out the trunk space on this bad boy.
On the mammoth there. Shok kind of slowly meandering past Nazim over towards the group here. Do you all mind if we take a minute to bandage up before moving on?
I think that's fine. I'm going to send Pietro. Can you hear me, by the way? I switched to my normal mic.
Yeah, you're still audible. It's a little bit quieter, but you're still audible, yeah.
I'm going to send Pietro up to do a quick scan around to see if half mile or maybe 3/4 of a mile in our general area, if he sees anything weird. Okay. Focusing specifically on weird, bumpy snow bullshit.
Okay. You send him up. He seems like he's having trouble fighting against the wind a little bit, but he does kind of take off and get up into the air, just getting kind of pelted with snow and the kind of growing blizzard conditions, it seems. We'll get back. It's going to take him a minute to really scout around a bit, but we'll use that roll when we get to it. What's everybody doing?
Knowing Nazim's fetish for taking skin, I'm just going to take my tuss underneath the one that's in front of me that died and just flip him over so his stomach is up, so it's easier to cut him up.
Okay. I would say that's easy enough for you to do when it's not fighting back. You just kind of tip it over, rolls over in the snow and begins to kind of sink into the ice a little bit. Not breaking through, but kind of settling into the ice.
When you were down in that hole, guys, did you see anything interesting down there, or is it just dirt? Anything fun? Like a carnival?
Mostly just ice.
I just saw dead things.
I'm gonna go over to Shoke. I'm gonna use like the produce flame to create a flame, and then I'm gonna put a needle in it, and then thread the needle, and then start sewing them up.
I'm gonna try not to vomit on myself.
You flying the broom down to kind of catch up with him. He's kneeling in the snow and beginning to kind of wrap this. Give me a medicine check, Fox. There's one thing that you're going to have below the passive, so I'll tell you that part no matter what for your passive score here. But okay. He kind of looking up at you. He kind of raises the hand a little bit. No, it's not needed, Miss. I appreciate what you're trying to do, but I'm going to tell you though that below your passive specifically, you guys don't know him very well, but there's a raspiness in his voice, like a pretty significant change in his voice. Like it's harder for him to speak, much harder than it had been previously. But I'll tell you that with that 10, I had a couple of other things if you'd gotten higher, but with a 10, you notice that the tears in his skin, they're not bleeding in the normal sense. They're just you see this kind of viscous black ooze beneath in the rips in the skin, where the skin was torn open, but it's not bleeding, like nothing's coming out. Also, the wolfskin cloak around his neck is stained with the same kind of viscous black. It looks like dead blood. It looks like not pumping coagulated blood.
Okay.
Alright, so we're taking a short rest, right?
It's up to you guys. He just asked for a minute to bandage. It's up to you guys what you want to do. You are kind of exposed. You're in the middle of this open field.
I can sing everyone a song that will actually help you increase your healing powers, make you feel better.
He says from atop the mammoth.
If you guys want me to, I can.
You put your musical instruments away. Are you going to play on the spiritual banjo?
I'm just gonna sing.
You're just going to sing? Okay. Okay.
Totally forgot I didn't have my banjo.
Yeah, you left all your instruments.
Pogo's life is still a little behind him as he recovers emotionally. So if we are taking a short rest, I am going to sing everyone a song, a small ditty of my childhood.
Okay.
While we're resting and I'm healing up, I'm gonna start taking.
It's called
skin.
It's called "The Young Woman Hatheth Back," and it's a small shanty.
It's what?
The young woman who haseth back.
Like Baby Got Back?
Oh,
that was a remix. But this is young woman who haseth back. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, that's the song.
All right. Song of Rest is what, a D8 or something for everybody? In addition, if they spend hit dice, right?
So if I do Song of Rest, they get an extra D8 on top of their normal.
If they roll hit dice, right? Okay.
If you roll hit dice, you get an extra D8. I'm not sure. Can people polymorphed take a short rest?
It doesn't matter because by the end of the short rest, I'm going to be normal again.
Yeah.
I'm going to climb off of you.
Oh, I was just going to say I'm going to use my trunk to pick you off right before I drop.
with the not the tusk, the snap. What's the word? Trunk. With the trunk. Use the trunk to grab him and lift him off.
Yep, just wrap
That was my joke earlier about my trunk space on my new car.
Oh, that was the... God damn it. I was doing two things and I didn't get the trunk joke on the mammoth.
Oh, I just thought you meant because the mammoth was huge and had a huge ass.
That's what I thought was a car. I was thinking a car space, not trunk space, like a nose trunk.
Pogo is a trained professional. He does all the puns at once.
Yeah, it was a double entendre pun.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do you want to revert yourself, Becky?
Yeah. Let me see.
Bottom of your character sheet, there should be a button there. I think for. I think it's.
Oh,
sorry, top. It's at the top. No, it's at very top of the title bar of the character sheet for restore transmission or transformation.
Under the mammoth one or mine?
Double click on the mammoth token, and then at the top you should see where it says Seraphina and then mammoth in parentheses. To the right of that, you should see restore transformation, like in the title bar.
No. Oh wait, yep, there it is.
There you go. Cool. right. Sarah's reverted back to her normal shape then. Everybody gathering around to. It is very cold. In fact, actually, so. We'll get to that here in a minute. So I guess what are you guys doing for your short rest? Pogo's singing. You guys can use your hit dice if you want. If you do use hit dice, you'll get an extra D8 on top of it from his singing.
I'm gonna go for the more hit points, more hit dice, and then I'm also just gonna kind of pull a couple leather pieces off.
Sure. Yeah, there's an easy access corpse right in front of you, with a lot more skin and armor than you'd be able to carry, anyways. So go ahead and use, roll as many hit dice as you guys want.
All right. Well, I don't need a short rest because I'm at full.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna help him peel some shit off of this thing.
Sure.
Same.
So
I'll just go help.
advantage.
Okay.
I'm just
All
gonna
right,
keep singing my song and relax. I think I do. I don't know if I have to sing the whole time. I think I just sing a song and then I can still take a short rest.
Yeah, it's part of your short rest. It's you don't. Yeah, it doesn't take up your. I just meant like I meant like as a narrative thing of what you're doing, not mechanical.
How many dice do I roll for this?
So to use your hit dice, what you do is you on your character sheet where you see where under hit dice it says S rest. Click that, and then it'll ask you. You can just you can click the hit dice thing over and over until you're done. All right, so that'll be that. That's okay. It's automatically rolling the heal for you too, which is good. So you guys can just keep rolling until you're done. Remember though, you get to add a D8 to it too. So if you use any hit dice, you can use a D8 now if you want.
Okay.
Did you hit that on accident, Fox?
I'm gonna roll
Yeah.
it now.
Go ahead, Sako.
Out here in the snow.
Remember, your hit dice, you get half of them back on a long rest. So if you spend all of them, it'll take you 2 days to get them all back. Otherwise, if you spend half of them, you'd get them back, the next day.
It's so rare we take short rests in this game.
Yeah, you guys don't do it too often, unless it's like a dungeon. You guys do it quite a bit in dungeony kinds of places when you can. Yeah, if you can block off a door or something. In the kind of, it's I would say quiet aftermath, but it's not really quiet. It's like a because you have this constant dull whirring of these icy winds that are pelting you. With this, it's still soft snow. You're not getting hit by sleet or anything like that, but it's this, it's still not comfortable necessarily. But in this calm though of the the adrenaline of the battle abating, each of you except Norok feel the cold beginning to settle in. You'll be shivering soon, and if you guys will be at risk of hypothermia, spending too long in the cold.
Right. So when we head out, anybody want to ride a mammoth?
If we're heading out, hold on 1 second, and I'm gonna call Pietro back down.
Go
Oh,
ahead.
go ahead.
Well, I'm going to fill you in on what he sees up there.
Mhm.
So the what he was able to see when he comes back down enough to be able to communicate with you, he is not just shivering, but having to he's not shivering like he's cold. He's like shaking, trying to get the ice off of him because his wings are so covered in this snowy frost that he was having trouble flying. He tells you that he got up as high as he could, but flying is if you guys go much further, it's not going to be realistic to spend any time in the air or any significant amount of time, because the further up the mountain you go, the further north you're going right now, it gets colder and colder, and not far to the north there's a frozen river that you guys will be having to pass. There's a wide ridge that you're gonna have to cross to go up, and that's going to be potentially tough. But he didn't see any creatures. He didn't see anything else that could be a threat potentially.
So Pietro just told me through my mind holes that we got to cross a frozen river. Is everyone aware of this?
Yeah, Norok, the river's called the Yuda, and Shok just nods. He looks like he's not wanting to speak very much.
You mean the Yuba?
No, Yuda.
Right.
Is everybody distant all of a sudden? Is it just me?
Well,
That-
Leah's
that would be-
enjoying the game. She came in, so I switched to my brother.
Oh, that was Leah. I thought that was okay. I thought that was Becky.
Nope.
I thought that was Becky, and was like, is she distant too? All of a sudden, I didn't realize it was Leah. Hi, Leah.
Well, I was gonna have Pietro fly down into the tunnels and just run around and see if he can find anything of interest down there besides just dirt and ice, and then come back out when you're done. Don't go too far though. Just take a look around down there if you don't mind while we're still taking a short rest.
He nods his head in an affirmation that he's happy with. He'd much rather go down into the tunnels than back up into the snow and ice. As he kind of heads off down into the tunnels, though, Shok, who is, I would say that Arteme, because she's close enough to him, can gather this, but he's clearly having trouble speaking. Like, his neck being torn in half is, damaged his vocal cords, at the very least, you would gather, Arteme, with your medicine proficiency. But he, as loudly as he can without damaging it any further, it seems, he says, the white frost that feeds brings the winter with him, that this cold that's with him is unnatural. Even for us Yogg, it can only be staved off for so long. So if we're going to be heading up into the mountains, in clear weather, it would be a day and a half maybe to reach the peaks. But in this, who knows?
So would it be... I'm guessing the Yoggs would be too big for a mammoth?
Yeah, comfortably. I mean, one of them could probably ride a mammoth for a short time, but the mammoth would still be, I'd say one could ride the mammoth without slowing the mammoth speed at all, but anything more than that would cut the mammoth speed in half for carrying.
Okay, so if Sarah and I both turned into mammoth, we each took one of the Yoggs, and then split Nazim and Pogo, or Nazim and Pogo could probably ride on the Griffin, and then we could make our way there with that ship.
Honestly, I'm not quite sure how much of this pointing to like the sky. Not quite sure how much of this Pietro can handle, honestly.
Yeah,
well, I'm not saying he has to fly, but just...
Yeah, but if he can't fly, the mammoth only moves 40 feet, so the Yoggs would probably walk faster than the mammoth.
Okay.
So...
Shok shakes his head at you. He says, that's not necessary. We'll be fine in the snow. It's going to be slow going. It's more you, especially the little folk, I'm worried about.
Yeah,
snow will be above your necks.
I'll just stay on the broom with Sarah then, just above the snow.
Okay.
I can carry at least one of the small ones.
And I can pedal with Sarah.
Well, Sarah's going to be on the broom with Arteme.
Well, if I turn into a mammoth, I can carry...
Pedal with Pietro, we're fine. Me and Pietro, we're fine. I'll just hug him closely.
Well, no, if I turn into a mammoth, can I carry Nazim, Arteme, and Pogo?
Yeah.
Alright, then let's just do that. Because the Yoggs will be about the same speed, if not faster, than the mammoth.
Shok through pain.
I can have Pietro kind of that way fly up a little bit every once in a while and check out the territory, see what's ahead of us.
To clarify on that, to clarify on that, Justin, he can go up. He just can't stay up in the air for too long. Same for you guys. If you were to try to fly there, it's going to be risky and dangerous. But you can still fly up and look at something and come back down, or be up there for a few seconds. You just can't really travel long ways up in the air. It seems like with this blizzard kind of coming down the mountain. In response to Sarah mentioning turning back into the mammoth, though, Shok asks how long can you do that though? We're talking days of march here.
Well, let's see. I can... 1, 2, 5. I can do it today for another 5 hours, and then I can do it for 6 hours tomorrow.
You see him kind of tilt his head, slightly impressed, and you see the neck start to open, and he immediately kind of flips his head back to kind of right the neck, or the head back on his neck.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool thing.
I mean, he probably doesn't think so, but... Oh, well, that. Okay, I thought you meant the neck thing, but yeah, as far as being able to use the mammoth thing. Like, that's kind of mean to say to him, He was headless like 45 minutes ago.
She's trying to ignore the headless thing because it's creeping her out.
He is still, Arteme, I would say that, especially you being, in front of him and trying to kind of... He's very hesitant about letting you help tend his wounds at all, but he keeps eyeing Pogo. He keeps looking in Pogo's direction like... Give me a perception check with disadvantage, Arteme. You don't spend a lot of time with Yogg, so being able to kind of identify the physiological body language of one is difficult, but I would say that you at least have a chance.
I'm looking for perception. Give me a sec.
No problem. You guys should have the HUD thing, too, so if you just click your own token, and then, yeah, you can just do it from there if you want. Under skills, and then perception. Yours will have a little half moon shape next to it.
Okay, I'm just blind on my character sheet because I just missed it looking for it.
Roll it one more time for disadvantage. All right. No, still really good. I'm going to send you a message. You know what? There, hang on. There's something that he. Sorry, guys. Usually I wouldn't do this. Kind of. Yeah. Okay. All right. He whispers something to you as well, Artemis. So he sees you noticing that, and he says to you,
Tonight.
he whispers that to you.
So when Leah came in here and she was listening and watching, she was like, "Why is everyone dancing?"
Oh, the little animation artists. Yeah.
Okay.
They remind me of classic RPGs, like SNES era RPGs, when the animation sprites would just have an idle animation.
Mm-hmm.
What's that, Fox?
So, okay, I got that.
Do you know what that means? Do you understand what he's saying to you?
Not particularly. Like, I get that they were both technically brought back from the dead by the same thing or something similar, but no, I don't really understand it.
Okay. He seems he kind of recognizes that you don't quite understand what he's saying, it seems, and he kind of shakes his head subtly and seems unwilling to elaborate further. You can ask him later if you want, but he doesn't, like, with everybody around, it seems like he doesn't want to talk about it.
Okay, I'll just drop it for now.
Okay. All right, so we'll call it an hour of your short rest time comes to an end. Everybody kind of spending as much time as they needed to bandage up. Nazim, did you use all the hit dice you wanted to? You're still only half health.
Yeah, I have a few dice left, but I'm just going to save them.
Okay. Did you also add the D8 for the Song of Rest for Pogo singing?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Ben, did you used hit dice as well? Did you add your D8?
Yep.
Okay. Cool. All right. Then if everybody's done with the rest, the Shoke, the other Yogg, kind of carefully stands up. You see him kind of tying the kerchief that Artemis was helping him with around his neck, kind of pulling it tight to try to kind of hold his head on where it's supposed to be. And he kind of stands up and brushes the snow off of his knees and off of his arms. Well, if you're ready, we may as well get to it. It's gonna take some time.
Sarah,
Is this the best that all of you have as far as bundling up? Do you have any better winter gear?
You find anything down there, Pietro? Any coats, perhaps?
You hear a psychic response through the ice below you, into half a mile off. These tunnels just go on forever. They're interconnected. They're all over the place. It seems like maybe they use these for hunting. I don't know. I find bones occasionally, but that's all.
Do the bones have any, warm clothes on them?
No warm clothes, unfortunately.
All right, why don't you get back here and we'll figure something out.
I'm assuming my cloak won't do much good, but if anybody wants to use it, they can.
They have halfling size. It's like 3 feet. It's like 3 feet square.
Pogo can use it while I polymorph.
Oh, that's true. I guess it's the Dumb and Dumber scene where he's wearing 2 pairs of gloves.
It works for me considering I emptied. Yeah, I emptied all my shit. I didn't realize how much I was carrying. I've been so fucking burdened by all this weight. I dropped it all off back at our castle, and now I'm just here wearing nothing but my armor and my underpants.
And we have tents, so we can always use the skin from the tent.
Yeah, and Artemis did make those out of she tanned it, but it is heavy enough leather to at least offer some protection from the wind for sure.
Yeah, so
I'm gonna put my hood up from my elven cloak.
Okay. All right. Then everybody kind of bundles up as best they can. Pietro kind of digs himself out of the snow. You see this kind of very somewhat annoyed, but kind of ice and snow-covered bird beak sticking up out of it as he kind of climbs his way out and shakes himself off. And you begin
It's
making
a pretty
your way.
bird.
Begrudgingly, are you going to climb on him, or are you still going to be riding on the mammoth?
You can
I
ride the
think
mammoth.
I'm going to ride the mammoth, and I'm just going to tell him to do his best to stay warm, and I'm going to like bury myself on top of the mammoth, like laying
the
like
fur?
on it, like trying to get in the fur with the cloak on me, like.
I say, do they get extra protection from
And
hairy mammoth?
my eyes are literally going to be Pietro's eyes. I'm going to just bury it, and I'm going to keep like have him just tell me if he sees anything telepathically. Otherwise, I'm just going to close my fucking eyes.
So you're not even going to be visible at all.
Nope.
Except for, all right.
There's a cloak. There's what looks like a giant, weird-shaped wart on the backside of this
you also
mammoth.
have a tent on you as well, because I gave you my tent too.
I'm just covering all of it. I'm super. In fact, I've 2 warms. Anyone need an extra set of tent?
Yeah, Artemis can stick her feet under the pogo. That's pretty hard. Sako probably remembers it. I know for sure Ben does. The glove scene when they're riding on the little motorcycle thing, Ben.
It's the Rockies.
Yeah, when he's wearing two pairs of gloves, the whole time. All right. So what's going to happen here, guys? This will be new for. I don't know how many of you guys will actually remember this. So we did kind of half of this once, and I'm going to explain it after we move over to this new map here. Becky, your question about whether they'll have advantage for the. Oh, hang on, that's the wrong. I gotta shut off one bit of this music here. There we go. You guys should still have the kind of wind whipping sounds, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
I haven't had any sound for like weeks, so we may have.
I mean, you could have mentioned that.
Y'all got to update Chrome.
Yeah, go to the top bar, the top right corner, Becky, where the little hot bar is up there. Click the music icon.
It's all the way up, except for the one at the very bottom that says Blizzard. That one is like down lower, but everything else is all the way up.
Okay. Turn that Blizzard one all the way up real quick just to see if you hear it at all. It should just be loud wind.
Nope.
Okay. So the Chrome is not playing to your current audio device. Next time, before we start playing, close out of Chrome completely. Restart your machine or whatever. Close out of whatever browser you're using. Doesn't matter. Whichever browser it is, will use the default audio
Internet
device.
Explorer.
Yeah. It would need to be either Chrome or Firefox or Chromium Edge.
Safari version 3.2.
It's Microsoft Edge.
Which one? Is the icon a flat blue or is it a blue and green swirl?
It's a blue and green swirl.
Okay, so that's Chromium, so that'll be fine. You just want to make sure that before you launch it, that you set your Windows default audio device to your headset. So have your headset plugged in, turned on, and everything, and make sure that in Windows that it sets the default audio device before you launch Edge. Okay. Yeah, that's good. I remember Netscape Navigator. That was my favorite one, actually. When it was around, that was my favorite browser.
Netscape Navigator?
Yep. Fox, do you recognize that art?
Somewhat, yes.
Yeah. It's from one of the Shiver Peaks maps, I think, if I remember right. Mm-hmm. Like the what's the word? Like watercolor art. So what this is, guys, Ben, Becky, and Fox, early on, you guys had one of the skill challenges, and then you had one again. I think it was inside Tahakapan, if I remember right, but it was really quick, and it was actually near the end of the session, so I kind of rushed through it a little bit. I didn't go over all the rules. That is basically, if you guys got the roles that you needed, then we just moved on. How skill challenges work, Justin, you may not have used these before, but how they work essentially is
the group challenge.
It's a group challenge. Everybody will be kind of participating in it, but here let me turn these things on so you can see the assets that I made for this. There we go. And the text. Where is it? There it is. All right. Everything should be visible now. You should see all the text. You should see difficulty 8, lost at 3, successes, failures, all that stuff. So how this works essentially is I'm going to give you guys a series of, these are the kind of situations that you guys find yourselves in as you're trying to climb this mountain. Seartop is the name of the mountain, by the way. This particular peak that you're trying to climb up to get to what's called Caldorfell, which is the temple that you guys have to reach for the ritual that Ben needs to perform. Anyway,
do you guys do this every time someone passes away? Is this a special thing?
It's special, G.
All right.
Sorry, I was eating. Yeah, this one's family, so yeah.
All right. I'm just
At
letting
least.
you know this and destination weddings seem a bit much.
Well, okay, so let's be clear here too. Though is from the Sako, you can just rename that to whatever skin you gathered. I was going to have you roll a medicine check, but since he's not really moving anyways, you can have skinned and carried enough leather from it for probably 5 feet by 5 feet, like a big square, just kind of folded up and gross. You'll still need to tan it, so it's literally going to be like dripping. Which probably isn't great in the frozen north, but anyway, how these skill challenges work, guys, is there's a series of encounters you guys will be going through, and I'll be giving you a challenge. So I'll tell you what it is, and then you guys decide how you want to get through it, and then you're going to pick. You guys are going to choose yourselves which of you is going to make the roll, and you're going to make a roll against a DC that I give you, and if you succeed, you get one of the successes. You need 8 of those. If you fail, you get a failure, and if you get 3 failures before you get 8 successes, real bad things happen, and the whole thing is fucked. Make sense?
Yeah, real quick, does this when we get to this mountain, is it just like normal walking on the mammoth, or is this like no longer the mammoth being a thing because of
The
having
mammoth
to actually climb?
Yeah, when you get up to a certain point, the mammoth won't be feasible anymore. But for now, it is. Yeah, like basically, I'll tell you during. I have a whole list of things that you guys will come up to. That there will be parts of it, obviously, the mammoth won't be able to do. In fact, actually, probably pretty early on. So, does everybody understand how that's going to work? You guys are basically, I'm going to tell you what the problem is, and then you guys are going to decide on what your plan together as a group is, and then you're going to use. I'll give you what the skill check is. You can't use. So say Norok is going to try to, put somebody on his back and climb a sheer wall. He can do that once. He's going to use athletics to do it. He can do that once, but he can't use athletics again. That's it. He can use, acrobatics on a different thing, or he can, you guys can use survival for a thing or whatever. But each of you can only use your skills one time for this whole challenge. So keep that in mind. So you traveling up your way up this slope. The ice is getting thicker and thicker. The blizzard is getting harder and harder to see through. Everybody except for Pogo is having to kind of keep one hand, an arm up. That is, even the arm is getting tired from the constant wind blowing to keep the snow from hitting in your eyes. You do before
How's
long.
Pietro doing?
Pietro is fine, trudging through the snow and kind of occasionally, expending the energy needed to just flap himself, nearly basically hovering kind of alongside as he's nearby to keep himself from having to, walk through this trudging snow that just keeps getting thicker, deeper and deeper. But with the mammoth, you guys managed to make decent and enough time here. It's about probably, we'll call it 4, maybe 5 in the afternoon. When you reach the Yuda, the frozen river that Pietro had warned you guys ahead of, Arteme, you can feel and hear the water running beneath this layer of ice, and the ice doesn't feel super
We
thick.
don't want to get the mammoth on there.
Up to you guys on how you want to handle it, but that's it.
I'm
you guys,
thinking
you know what?
we don't want the mammoth on
So,
the ice.
the other thing I meant to mention here, the hazard section there that I listed there, the first one, extreme cold. Every challenge of these, you guys are going to have to roll a con save versus exhaustion, and for every one you fail, you're going to get a level of exhaustion, which is going to make the challenges later on harder. So keep that in mind too. So everybody, actually, so because of the mammoth, I'm going to say that this first challenge here, so since Becky had mentioned, if you guys get any benefit for using the mammoth, Pogo, you're fine. The mammoth itself is fine. Norok, you're walking, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you'll have advantage. Nazim, where are you?
My hands are sweating from the second gloves I'm wearing.
Still within the group, just kind of floating along like I normally do.
Well, you could be up on the mammoth too. You and Arteme both could be on the mammoth if you wanted to.
I'd already
Weirdo.
said I was on the
Float.
broom, like just falling behind the mammoth, just like
Okay.
above the snow.
Okay. Nazim also just floating along, or are you going to be up on the mammoth with Pogo?
Just floating alongside.
Okay. All right.
Man, no one wants to just get all comfy with me.
Pogo, no roll for you necessary at all. Same for Sarah. Norok, yours roll a con save with advantage. Nazim and Arteme roll it with a regular roll. And you need to beat a 16, and that DC is going to ramp up very fast the further you get into this thing. So keep that in mind too.
Sorry, what was the roll?
It's a DC 16 con save. So Nazim, you'll have 1 level of exhaustion. Norok, that was with advantage. Jeez. All right, 1 for Norok. Arteme, con save.
Yeah, it's coming.
No problem.
It's just lagging.
What's funny is if he had just gotten a 1, I could have had him reroll, but that was with advantage.
Yeah.
Dang, y'all!
All
It's
right,
just
that's one for each
cold.
of you.
Oh no,
So-
I can't do anything as a mammoth. Never mind.
Yeah.
Well, you
wouldn't
don't
be able
have
to really
to.
help there.
Yeah.
All right. So that's not failures against the successes and failures. That's just now that you have disadvantage. Not disadvantage, but each of you will have a D4 subtracted from any rolls you make. Remember everybody remembers the exhaustion rules. Here, let me put them in here. So I'm going to put them in Discord so everybody has them. Because this could spiral out very quickly, depending on what you guys choose to do. You can always take longer, like you can take a rest, and if for example if Arteme makes a tree, then that's warmer in there, and you can kind of rest, but you can only get 1 long rest per day, so you can't just, waste them essentially. But
Go 12
you guys,
feet and then sleep.
yeah, exactly. You'll get there in 3 months, which you kind of do have a timeline really. So when it
How
needs to be done.
far
by.
is this river across?
The narrowest point that you can find, it's between maybe 50 to 60 feet across.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna pick Pogo up because I know this mammoth ain't making it across this, and put him down, and then polymorph back into my regular self.
Okay.
Is there?
I can
a
teleport
giant
myself
eagle
too.
Cannot pick up a Yogg cannon.
No, that'd be
Like
too
not
heavy.
even in its talons.
No, I mean maybe if he's dragging his feet, but the eagle's not going to be able to fly to do that.
I mean, Sarah, if you want, me and you are small enough. I should be able to hold on to you and thunder step my ass across to the other side of the river.
Well, that'd be fine. I'm just worried about Norok and
Shoke.
Choke
Yeah.
falling into the river.
Well, how about we
however,
stay
I
here then? But
can-
we could keep that as an option. We can just
Well, wait.
Cross.
I can polymorph them into something small that can run across really quick, and then polymorph them back into themselves.
you can just hold on to him. I mean, the only thing. Yeah. I mean, if you put him into something small, we could put him in a container and just put him in a pack.
That's fine. I could always hold on to him like inside my cloak, steal my cloak back from
There
me
you go.
quick. But that is if Shoke is okay with that. I know Norok probably won't care, but Shoke seems to have an aversion to being turned into something else.
He looks at Norok very suspiciously. Looks back at you. Can we just? And he kind of points over to the mountain. Can we just climb? Norok, you and I.
We don't have to. Wait, we don't have to. We don't have to go across the river.
I will
just
tell
go up?
all of you that you look at the mountain, and that looks like an awful idea. That looks much more dangerous than just crossing the river.
It'll literally take us like 30 seconds for me to turn you into something small, pick you up, and Pogo to vamp us to the other
Yeah,
side.
we'll be
and then
right.
get
In
back.
fact, how tall up the side of the cliff? How far up?
The cliff he points to is 150 feet, and it's pretty sheer. Like climbing that, you guys don't even have proper climbing gear anyway. Looks,
So I suppose my question would be, if everyone's small or polymorph small, at least most people, and I use Thunderstep to try to get to a spot, and then Thunderstep again, I could get 180 feet, use up 2 spell slots, but technically I get 180 feet up, even if I used it a third time.
wait, up like straight? Oh, you mean up the cliff? Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, like kind of up the cliff. I'm wondering, do I see any kind of strange mechanic there? But could I use Thunderstep to technically just?
No, is Thunderstep just you and another person? Would 2
I can
tiny
carry-
creatures count?
So I can. It's more. It's a weight thing. It's I can carry objects as long as their weight doesn't exceed what you can carry.
Creatures aren't
So-
objects.
Oh well. Let's see here. You can also teleport 1 willing creature.
There
All
you
right.
go.
So
Yep.
1 willing creature.
Yep.
So never mind. I can maybe get 1 person up there, but
He kind of
of my
grumbles.
size or smaller, so I could take Sarah with me.
Yeah, but Arteme could hold them if they were like ferrets and take the broom up, and Nazim can float across the river. So
I say we just go across the river.
Ben, did you see that?
The river gets us there, right? It's just not quite as steep.
I mean, it's just a matter of getting across it.
Okay.
Well, I'm just saying I don't know enough about the terrain to know that just crossing the river is going to help us get. Like, I'm assuming crossing the river is one way to get towards the top of the mountain.
It's the best way to go.
All right. Thank you, Norok. Someone who's been here many times knows it like the back of his massive fucking hand.
Right. So, Shok, if you're okay with this, I'll turn you and Norok into ferrets, and Artemis will carry you guys across the river on the broom.
Notable.
He scowls.
It'll
I'm gonna
only
go.
be for like however long it takes her to get across the river.
So here's what we're going to do. If this is the plan you guys want to go with, this is a little bit atypical. I would usually, usually skill challenges are, I'm going to, try to climb up using acrobatics, things like that. Like you give me specific rules, sure, but usually it's like a physical thing. This is a little bit weird that the first part of this, climbing a mountain skill challenge is going to be this. But give me a persuasion check. Hang on, don't roll it yet. Here's what you guys need to decide. That's what's funny about it, is that it's like literally talking him into allowing you to do this, because the plan, like that plan kind of can't really fail what you've described. So the skill challenge will be just persuading him to allow you to do that. So you guys decide amongst yourselves who is going to roll the persuasion check and in what situation, because again, remember those things like who has exhaustion, who doesn't, or what level of exhaustion, for example, who has the best chances of succeeding at it, etc. Whoever gives the best argument, like verbally telling you what you're going to tell him, things like that, those all have an impact on what the DC will be. So decide amongst yourselves what you want to do.
Do you guys mind if I take a crack at it?
I don't care. I have a +8 to persuasion, but if you feel lucky, go for it.
Hang on, before you do. So Pogo says that out loud.
I can only use it once.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. But Artemis, you know something that you may. It's up to you whether Artemis would have some input or not there. But
Oh, I'd say Sarah would probably be better off for that.
All right.
I mean, it literally will take like less than a minute. It takes 6 seconds for me to cast it, and however long it takes her to get across the river. And then I promise you will be right back to your normal self. You can even ask Norok. He has been polymorphed numerous times. You can ask him about his experience with it.
It's actually fantastic. It makes you feel nice and vibrated, like comfortable afterwards. It's like a nice massage. Your body's changing a little bit. Here's
what I'm going to do. I'm going to say that Pogo... Okay, so specifically what I told Artemis there is earlier the conversation that Pogo wasn't aware of this, but the conversation that he was whispering with Artemis. Artemis gets the impression that he doesn't trust Pogo, and it's not anything Pogo's done. It's specifically because of this kind of aura that is around Pogo, and he doesn't trust Pogo for that reason, and that's why Artemis, said that, is because the impression that she got previously. But that said, Pogo is still extremely persuasive anyway, so I will say if Sarah's going to make the roll, you can make it with advantage. He's not directly listening to Pogo, but kind of knows that he could know that Pogo knows his shit, basically, if that makes sense. So that fair? Everybody agree with that?
Yeah, he just doesn't want me casting spells on him.
it's mostly he doesn't want to trust you with it, not because of you specifically, but because of the death magic surrounding you. Yeah. So a persuasion check with advantage, Becky, and the DC will be. I think you've worn him down enough. We'll call it a 14.
All right, come on. Oh.
Okay. All right. That could have been real bad.
Terrible rolls.
Let me go ahead and put the token in there. Wait, is that visible? Yeah, you guys can see that, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. All right. So first success on the road, then.
Just out of curiosity, because I absolutely have to just see what I would have gotten.
You just got to know.
Yeah. Okay.
Would have blown it away. Yeah. No, here's the difference, though. This is what I'm talking about.
But I would have been at disadvantage, probably.
You would have been at disadvantage, and the DC would have been higher, also.
Yeah,
so you still may have beaten it anyways, but
Yeah, I was just curious.
Yeah. All right, so you kind of going through with the plan. You polymorph. Go ahead and mark off the spell slots and everything. Resources still count the same way, even when even when you're doing this, you still.
Yeah, so there go a bunch of my.
And I'm going to make sure I give everyone a wide berth before I thunder step to the opposite side. I'm going to also look at. Are there any trees or anything on their side, or is it just tundra, wasteland?
There are actually. The trees are they're all coniferous. They're all very heavily weighed down with snow and ice. But yeah, they're pretty common.
Try to get kind of close to one, maybe in the shadow of one where I arrive, so that it's a little bit more safety in case something else is coming from any of those directions.
Okay.
Keeping an eye out after I.
Sure. You land. I'll tell you that if you want to make a perception check, go ahead. Go ahead and make one anyways when you land there across on the other side. You're the other one that's far enough ahead to really see.
Am I going with him?
Well, yeah, I was waiting till they were done. I was gonna grab Sarah and with
Okay.
Sarah.
Well, in that case, both of you, Pogo and Giuseppe, or Pogo and Sarah can make a check.
Giuseppe.
Perception.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
All right. When you get to the other side there, Sarah, you point out Pogo. You hear these, and then Sarah, just spots them immediately. Through this like heavy blizzard conditions, you can't see very far, but in these kind of trees, between the trees, you see a pack of like literally see probably a dozen wolves that are just sprinting as fast as they can, heading down the mountain. And after them. No, not towards you guys. Just going, just getting down the mountain and away from you. Essentially, they're heading a little bit further down the river. It seems they don't notice or care that you're even there, but you do see them. And then after the second trip to get everybody across, when you guys are finally on the other side, Artemis or Sarah, rather, you looking in that same direction again. You spot a couple of deer that are similarly not full speed, but definitely running. Getting away from the mountain. It seems getting down as best they can.
And this is
guys. Is that from the dragon thing? I'm assuming. Is that a bad sign?
Joe kind of looks in your direction and shrugs. He's definitely trying. Like you can all tell by now, he is trying to not speak as much as he can. Like it's painful for him.
All right, Norak. Since Shok's not feeling great, how much do we have to walk or climb? How much further do we have for the walk?
Yeah, I know we got a little bit more to go, for sure. So, sorry, guys.
Normally, so I meant to mention this earlier.
Already.
Yeah, you guys have days, like literally days, before you'll be there.
Right.
Now, normally though, you guys aren't to the road yet. Normally, the basically one end of the road, or further down the road, is Norok's village at White Holler, where they would just follow the road up and it would be fine. The road is obviously snowy and icy now, but you would still be just following the road. You guys are climbing through wilderness to even get to the road because you're coming from the southwest, not from where his village is. So, go ahead.
Sarah's just gonna ask Nork, is there, like, can a mammoth make it up this for a while, or would it just be better if I was myself?
Probably mostly yourself. I think it's going to be too steep.
Well, so it will be soon. You do know that you probably have Norok. You've gone this route before when you came back, but it wasn't. It was in the summer and it didn't have this unnatural winter with it. There is a very sharp ridge that you guys are going to have to follow soon. That basically like you'll be walking along like a peak, like the walking along a knife edge, right, on a mountain here. And something like that with the wind constantly blowing will be dangerous and could blow you off. So something like a mammoth could be useful there. But after that, you are going to hit a sheer cliff face that obviously a mammoth's not going to be able to get to. Yeah. Norok knows all of that. So.
Yeah. Thank you.
How many times can you cast that spell?
I've got 3 more times.
Christ, seriously?
Yeah.
I think Artemis, don't you have it too, or is it just your regular wild shape?
Just my regular wild shape, which I could do twice. Like I could turn into something, revert, turn into something, and then revert, and then I have to refresh it with like either a long rest or a short rest.
Yeah, so Artemis can do the same thing for long periods of time as well, just to kind of help out there too, if she wants to, anyways. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm fine. I mean, maybe you guys might want to just get on with me to stay warm. It looked like you were all shivering and got your chattering cheeks going. Or at least if some of you can get up here, like, we can put a tent on it, pull it down tight, I'll nap.
Right, so you're going mammoth again, Sarah?
Yeah, if it'll be useful.
Like another day and a half.
Yeah, as Norok has described it, you probably, but if you guys, Norok, that if you guys can get, into the, kind of follow the ridge up until you can get to the cliff face, you could probably camp at the base of the cliff face, because remember, it's going to be evening very soon, and you don't want to be trying to do this at night. So if you camp at the cliff face and then go up the cliff in the morning, that'd probably be your best bet.
All right. I will relay that to everybody.
Okay.
Just let them know that we'll try to get to the cliff, and then we'll...
Well, that's at least good to know that there's something up here that we can relax at. Thought we were just going to be walking through tomorrow.
Mammoth form until we get there.
Okay. All right, so Sarah's going mammoth. Pogo's going to climb on the mammoth, I assume, and blanket it up again?
Yeah. Anyone want to join me? Artemis?
I'll stay on the broom just to keep like a lookout in case we get attacked.
I love it.
That's what I've got. Pietro over here is just going to be...
I'm a very fuzzy mammoth and I'm very warm.
Let me also
Yeah.
remind you guys, this is gonna take multiple days to get there, and you only regain 1 level of exhaustion with a long rest.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, fuck it. Be cold. That's fine.
Well, she can turn into a
I don't
mammoth
care.
herself, though. She could
It's
also be a
fine.
mammoth.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I get it. I understand.
That's what was laughing about. Is it was just hilarious to me that Artemis like, I'm not gonna climb up there with Pogo. I'd rather be freezing cold.
No, I'm just very cautious. I don't want to get attacked by
No,
Centaurs
this
again. So
is
I'm
this is
just
my
keeping a
mammoth. I
lookout.
enjoy it.
Sure, that's fair.
See, here's the
That's fair,
trick.
Fox.
If you get on the mammoth
unless
and
I
you
could
lay
still,
down,
like,
they're
keep, like,
not
a
going to
good,
attack you.
like,
They're going to attack the
three-
mammoth.
Even if I could keep like a good 360-degree like watch from the mammoth, sure. But if he's like tenting it up to where you can't see anything, I wouldn't want to.
I am literally covering my entire body.
Yeah,
My
but
eyes. I'm
You
just
don't
going to
have
have.
so Artemis.
Okay.
You don't have to do that anyways. If you just climb up there and just use the blankets, you'll still be good there too.
Okay, I'll do that then, and
Okay.
I'll put the broom like kind of along my back.
All right. So that's Artemis, Sarah taken care of. Norak, you walking?
Yeah.
Okay. Nazim,
Sorry, you cut out there for a second.
what means of travel are you going to be using?
I'll be just floating along, staying very close though, close by to everyone, just
Okay.
to kind of not split up.
Um,
Huddle for warmth, pretty much.
Tell you what, yeah. So I'm going to say, since you're doing that anyways and trying to keep close, I will say that if you kind of use the mammoth as a windbreak, that you don't get kind of the worst of it, at least. So you won't be at disadvantage. You won't be out, exposed, just taking the full brunt of the wind. You'll still have to roll for the checks here, but all right. So then you guys continuing up the slope. It is an hour after this, so we're talking about 6 o'clock or so at this point. The sun is still not all the way down, but it's like through these dark clouds. It's hard enough to tell, anyways. Pardon me, you still have a little bit of light, but it is definitely fading fast. But you make it to this ridge that Norak was describing to you. In fact, the same ridge that Pietro was telling Pogo about earlier. It is like the only part you can walk on isn't soft snow that would just fall right out from under your feet and make you tumble down the mountain. Is this very narrow path along the top of the mountain, like literally walking along the peak of the mountain for this long ridge, and it goes on for at least a couple of hours. Norak is aware of. It is, of course, still extremely cold, so the woolly mammoth is fine, and Pogo is fine because of the specific kind of way he's bundled himself. So
how is this path going to take?
it's going to be probably 2 hours at this pace, walking along this spine.
Perfect. That is exactly how many polymorphs I have left.
All right, that'll work then.
I will
All
just...
right. The only reason that Sarah's not having to roll these, by the way, is that literally woolly mammoths are like made for this environment, so they're fine. So Norak, your roll will still be with advantage. You have to beat a 16 con save. Sarah's fine. Pogo's fine. So Artemis, your roll will be with advantage. So beat a 16 with advantage. All right, that's another level of exhaustion for Norak. That was still with advantage? Jeez.
Damn.
As the cold is setting in, this is getting tougher and tougher for each of you. So
We're gonna
Artemis, your roll...
We're gonna have to make something to pull behind the mammoth and just put Norak in it.
All right, 16. Okay, so Artemis didn't get a second level. She's still good. Nazim, you have... it'll be a normal roll, not disadvantage. You're not exposed, but you're just kind of trying to, walk in the shadow, kind of, let's say, of the mammoth. So just a normal roll, con save. You have to beat a 16.
All right.
Oh, shit, just barely. All right.
Nice.
When I said beat a 16, you have to get a 16 or higher, the same as any other save. So Norak with 2 levels, Artemis with 1, Nazim with 1. As you guys make your way along this ridge, you will be constantly being pelted by this kind of constant wind that is pushing from the west and over the ridge to the east. You guys are trying to go north, and the wind is a just permanent assault. It just never ends. It's a ceaseless assault. Nazim trying to kind of protect yourself with the mammoth. Basically, you're fine on that side. Pogo, since you are kind of nestled in the fur, I would say that you're not really being pushed by it too much. Artemis, you're like really having to hang on to the fur.
Let me try to describe. I am literally arms spread out, legs spread out, pulling each corner down to where like no part of my body is outside of anything.
Yeah,
like,
I would say that you're attached.
I am cozy.
Yeah, you're attached enough to the mammoth. You're not really being pushed, except for what the mammoth is already being pushed. Arteme,
exactly.
it is like pushing you off the side, and you keep having to right yourself and kind of climb back up towards the middle of the mammoth's back, so that you don't get blown off the side down to where Nazim is floating above the snow. Norok, you similarly trudging along with Shok beside you, trying to kind of just fight against the wind as best you can. Who wants to? So I guess tell me what this is. You've got 2 hours of trying to fight this off. You have a very steep slope on your right that if the wind blows you off to the east and you fall into that, you're going to tumble into this landslide of snow. What's the word for that? Landslide of snow?
Avalanche.
There you go. Thanks, avalanche.
There it is.
I knew there was a fucking word for it, but anyways,
That's
you'll essentially create an avalanche of you falling into it, and I mean you probably won't die, but you'll be at the bottom of the fucking mountain, and that's going to add a lot of time and difficulty to this.
Would this seem like something that is a bad idea on a mammoth? Like, does this seem like it's getting too thin for mammoths to like be able to avoid that edge?
Almost. No. It's wide enough for that. It's not. So when I'm saying knife edge, I just mean that basically you just have the thin spine and then a steep slope on both sides. It's wide enough for the mammoth to walk on, and if anything, the mammoth has enough like diffusion essentially that it's just heavy enough, and so not top heavy, but the opposite of that, low enough to the ground. It's center of gravity is low enough to the ground that she's able to trudge along without much difficulty. It seems like
I am going to telepathically tell Pietro, who's just kind of probably trudging behind them, that if anyone starts to go over to the side or fall in any direction, that he needs to do his best, even if it means sacrificing himself to save one of our group.
Okay.
And there, we'll even roll for it too.
All right.
That plus 13 really helps with the persuasion.
Yeah, really. Yeah. All right. Then what I'll say is that depending on what you guys do here, if someone fails, the chance of him, catching them in time will help. So it might be an advantage on the roll. Depends on what you guys' kind of actual choice is here. So what do you guys want to do? What's your plan?
Since I'm a mammoth, can I help make up a plan?
Nope, you can't do shit.
Yeah.
You just keep walking.
I have a plan, but
well, here's what I'm going to say is that Ben had Norok had told you guys. He and Choke had told you guys that this ridge was coming, so you would have been able to participate in the plan making like ahead of time enough to maybe we'll just kind of narratively say that that's when your discussion happened.
Okay, so if we use some rope and we tie Shok and Norok to the rope, the mammoth can hold it and use strength to pull them along.
I ain't got no rope.
Wants to get back up on to the mammoth.
I have a kind of an idea. Can I cast a wind walk, and then we just like kind of go over it?
Click on wind walk for me, folks.
Isn't that where we turn into wind or air and we can just travel super fucking far?
It is. Now, traveling up probably wouldn't work, but as far as, through this with some resistance, because this is
like
magical wind.
Gaseous form on
steroids. Except with super fast speed and everything.
300?
Yeah.
Flying speed of 300 feet, yeah. You can't dash, you can't use actions or anything.
You can dash. The only action you can use is a dash.
Yes, sorry. So the dash...
all you can do. You can't attack, you can't do spells, you can't do shit except for that.
The only action you can take is the dash action. Oh, shit. Okay, all right, never mind. I could have sworn when I looked this up when you got that spell,
reverting
you
takes an
do
entire
it,
minute.
D&D, yeah, but the reason that I brought that up is when she first got that spell, I looked at it for like traveling, because that's with dash would be 600 feet per round, so 100 feet per second.
Even if you fall out of the sky, you land safely?
Yeah, it's a pretty badass spell. Like she got the last level up, and I really kind of expected you guys would use that to get here. So I had all this stuff prepared, not to ground you, but specifically, I had this all prepared for the ice, which wouldn't allow you to just fly in, but you could still use it to try to kind of get some distance in.
So it lasts 8 hours? Fuck it. Let's just turn it into fucking clouds. Would Arteme know that if we turn into clouds, would the wind blow us around, or can we still use our motion to go against the wind?
So that's it. That's basically what I'm saying is that it won't be you won't be able to move at the full speed it would still probably be, safer in that you could probably still do it that way. But remember, you guys can only use each of these things once. So if this is your solution, it's fine, but you won't be able to use it later on. And I'm not telling you whether you would need it later or anything else.
How far are we? Like, I mean, this seems like a great idea to me. So we just go the full 8 hours, just fucking fart in the storm right out.
Yeah,
You
but
do-
Far are
wait,
we-
so you can only use your spells once?
We're gonna try to
So-
do just one thing per thing.
It's specifically for a skill challenge. It's for this what we're trying to do. Not like you. Yeah.
Okay.
Once you guys are done with the skill challenge, then you have your spells are totally normal again. It's basically the way. It's to just keep everybody from just saying, okay, well, I'm just gonna have we're gonna climb on Norok's back and he's gonna carry us up, and we'll just do that for each challenge the whole way through. That wouldn't really be fun. So skill challenges, you're supposed to only use them once.
Would
Okay.
my polymorph even work for this then? Because I polymorphed them into ferrets over the last one.
You
Well,
can
you
still
wouldn't have to do
you can still turn
polymorph
into
for
a
this one.
mammoth. Yeah, that's not the solution, I guess, if that makes sense. That I guess it was part of it technically, but the actual role for that one was persuasion. It wasn't the polymorph. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah.
The role for the last one was you convincing him to let you guys do that. It wasn't.
Well, how far? Hey, Norak, how far are we away from the little area we might be able to rest? If we just keep trudging along at this speeds.
2 hours.
A couple hours.
2 hours?
Two.
Well, why don't we
2 or
why don't
3.
we save? I mean, fuck it, we could do that. Well, why don't we save it and then we could maybe do that in the morning if we need to go 8 hours.
Yeah, because that's a long time. That's
Sure.
longer than
That's
I
so
can do.
long. That's a whole day.
All right.
I've never
Yeah, we
gone
can-
that long without a nap.
We could definitely save it for later.
Right now, the rope idea sounds good. Might as well. It doesn't hurt. If the chance of if everyone falls, the mammoth will probably be able to hold us up.
Yeah, I've got
Pietro might help.
really great strength as a mammoth.
Give it a try.
Strength of feet.
Nazim, you have any input?
I think we
Would have
should
to
be
get on the
okay.
mammoth.
You
Well,
could,
let's tie up.
what was that, Sako?
Yeah.
I think we should be okay. I mean, I'm on board with this. It's sketchy either way, though.
All right. So give me a thorough. I guess if this is your final answer, walk me through exactly what the steps are going to be, and then I'll decide on what the role will be and what the DC is.
So is Nazim getting on the mammoth, or are we tying Nazim?
You can do both.
Well, it's up to him. It's whatever he wants to do.
I'm sorry, you cut out. Am I on the mammoth or what?
Or being tied with a rope, like in
Um,
a chain with Norok and Choke.
Probably tied up. Just floating, but tied just as a safety.
All right. So then, if they're all three tied, then I'll have either Arteme or Pogo tie the rope like kind of around one of my tusks, and
Okay.
then I'm gonna also wrap my trunk around it to hold on to it.
Okay.
And if they start to go, then I'm just gonna drag them with me.
Okay.
So even if they fall off the side, they're still.
So
tied
you're
on
the
rope,
anchor. Yeah, and they're anchored to you. Okay.
and I'm just taking them along.
And you're putting Nazim, Norok and Choke at the back, so Nazim is just floating in the middle, just being belted around by the wind.
Wherever he wants to be.
Okay.
It's
Because
up
what
to
what I'm picturing there is, you guys know that is it foosball where you spin the things and the little soccer guys spin head over end?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Foosball.
Nazim is floating in the middle with anchors on both sides. The rope isn't going to keep him from spinning. He's going to spin and spin and spin, head over heels, over and over and over again until the rope is all tangled. But
I love
no,
it.
I'm just kidding. I think you can hold onto the rope, Sako, to steady yourself.
If we each have to do like kind of a skill check type thing, I can tie the rope. If I can do a sleight of hand check to see how well the rope's doing that. If that's what needs to be done.
If that's the one you guys want to use, I would say that the mammoth, the strength,
Well-
most of the anchoring is going to come from the mammoth strength to be able to pull there. So if Sarah used persuasion last time.
Can't use another one, can I?
You can't do them back to back, so somebody else has to be the one to use the roll. Yeah. So if
What
it's going to
rule
be
am I doing?
well, so I guess if you guys tell me what is your plan. Like, I guess which role do you want to use? I guess if that makes sense.
Well, I thought she was using strength, and then I'm using sleight of hand to just tie the rope as best I can.
Yes, but
I
she
can't do two
she
in
rolled
a
last
row.
time. She
I
can't do
didn't
two in a
realize
row.
that.
Yeah, so one of you guys needs to
Oh.
decide how you're going. Like, what is going to be your best chance whoever has the best odds of succeeding at this roll, because you have to get 7 more successes before you get 3 failures. By the way, if you fail, it doesn't mean that you're dead. It doesn't mean that we're done here. It just means that you on the next challenge, you basically, if you get 3 failures, then then bad
I
things
could do
happen.
the sleight of hand to tie the ropes because
yeah. So I mean, you guys can talk about who's better at tying the ropes as far as proficiency and so on.
I'm pretty good. I'd say on like if it was a scale, I'm 8 better than like the average person.
Okay, but I'm proficient in sleight of hand. Like I'm not proficient in much, but sleight of hand is one thing I'm proficient in.
If it was a scale of 1 to 20,
if it was a scale of 1 to 20, I'd be about 8 better than the average person.
How much better than the average person would you be at it, Fox?
I have no idea.
In narrative, he's telling you that his modifier, his modifier is 8, and that's what he was saying.
Mine's 17.
Oh yeah, no, fuck that. You go and tie that shit.
Wait, 7? It's not plus 17, is it? It can't be plus 17.
Sleight of hand? Are you double proficient?
Sorry, it's plus 7. No, there's 17.
The 17. Yeah, that's the average.
Well, I'm gonna tell you. I am not sure there's going to be a lot of things that I can help here in this situation, and this might be one of the few. But no, you know what? Feel free. That's fine. I'll stay cozy up on my mama.
It's not each of you have to go one, or it's not once for all of you. It's just you can't go back to back. So
that's fine.
Yeah. So
you go ahead.
Next one, Sarah could still do it, or you could, or whatever. So
tie it off. Stay within 30 feet of me. So if you feel like they're shitty nuts, then I'll be able to let you do it again.
All right. So don't just roll it yet, Fox. Here's what it's going to be. For the knot tying, I would say that it's not going to be too difficult to tie here, except that your hands are already like pained, just from the being frozen, essentially the beginnings of frostbite.
Oh shit! Do you have exhaustion?
She has 1 level. Yeah, she has 1 level.
Yeah.
It's minus a D4, right?
It's minus a D4. Yeah. So you'll be rolling. I will say that you with everybody helping and kind of huddling around you, you kind of using the warmth of the mammoth here to get this thing done here, that you'll have advantage on the roll. It'll still be minus a D4, and you need to beat a 14. So go ahead and roll your sleight of hand with advantage, minus a D4, and beat a 14. 22. Even minus a D4, you would still beat an 18 if you rolled at worst, which means you still beat it, so it's still a success.
Those look like some good knots. Good knots there, girl.
Arteme deftly, with the kind of dexterous elven hands, ties these elaborate elven knots, things you may not even be familiar with or having seen frequently, that every time they're pulled actually tighten slightly, just enough of a springiness into the rope to kind of keep everybody safely together. Nazim, you get the worst of it probably because you're just being pelted constantly as you're being plinged back and forth along the top of this ridge. Yeah, very much exactly. Just getting constantly blown back and forth. You get blown off of the ridge, and then because of this kind of really deft and professional rope tying, it almost kind of the rope kind of springs you back in. With mostly it's Norak grabbing the rope and yanking you back, but to you it feels like the rope kind of springing you back in, and you just land safely back on the ridge. Everybody safely makes it to the base of the cliff. The wind
didn't have to save anybody.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, well, there was going to be advantage from that anyways, actually, because that was a really good idea. So you guys make it safely to the base of the cliff. The sun has gone down. It is pretty late in the evening. It's a pretty sheer cliff face. You do expect you'll have to climb that based on what Norak and Shok have told you. But it is, it's late in the evening. So what are you guys doing?
Is this where we were planning on camping? Is there like a cave? Or are we still going up higher?
Can we make a tree?
Nazim shakes his Nazim.
Because I'm still kind of hurting.
Well, I just know. I mean, is there a cave around here, or is this definitely not where we're staying the night?
Yeah, Shok shook his head. There's no cave nearby. There is up there.
All right. Well, fuck. Pietro, can you fly up there? Okay, think you'd be all right flying up there?
He peeks, like you see him kind of crane his bird neck, and he just looks back down at you. He kind of gives you an acknowledged look.
Oh, really? All right. Well, tell you what, guys. I just happen to have 2 pitons, as we call them, and I could go and put a couple pitonies up at there and maybe put a rope through, and perhaps I'll help you climb up here. It's not maybe you don't pull on the rope, but as you're climbing, it'll at least give you a little help. And I can probably get up there with Pietro.
Are we camping here? Or are we going up and then camping?
We can't camp here in the just snow and the.
Well, you have okay. Let me clarify
There's
something.
a tree.
The cliff face is like protecting you guys from the blast of the wind. You guys are at the base of a sheer cliff.
We can.
Yeah, I mean this is.
Oh, we can
it's
make
not a great
treehouse.
spot.
That's right.
And if you go up there, you will be. Well, yeah, exactly. And if you go straight up there, you're just going to be exposed to the blizzard again. But where you're at, you're not getting hit.
Okay, but you said there was a cave up there, right?
But not immediately. It's further up the road.
Oh, okay. How far?
On a good day, if it was clear, Nora can inform you. On a good day, it'd be a day away.
Right, so we'll probably hit that in 2 days.
Yeah, it'll be.
No, we got to
tomorrow,
go. We got to
probably.
get this done. We've got things to do. Remember, there's a whole country in danger.
It is already night time. If you guys push through, you're all going to be getting exhaustion for not sleeping. So keep that in mind too.
All right.
Yeah,
I swear to God, if this dragon comes down and just eats the entire treehouse, we'll be safe, and then somehow inside a dragon's stomach.
Then we'll just set up a watch.
And I'm not gonna.
Wake
I'm not.
everyone up.
I'm saying I've always kind of been curious about what it would be like to be inside of a dragon, but not in that way.
I mean,
your idea was a little more penetrative.
That's terrible. I mean, if we're inside a dragon, at least we can hit it from the inside.
I mean, you know what?
Always that.
Looking at the positives. That's what I love about you. It's great. In fact, you know what? I love this weather. No mosquitoes. Fantastic weather.
See, you just gotta be positive.
All right, let's
go to sleep.
Let's make a tree. Let's all relax. Let's let Shok get his head on his shoulders. Nice and.
Then Arteme, you have to kind of dig out a chunk, like a post hole in the snow or in the ice rather, at the base here just to get the tree.
Can I use my tuss?
You'd have to be upside down. I mean, she's digging straight down into the ice.
Oh, it's still scoop some of the ice away so she has a better chance of getting
I'm saying she's already kind of sweeped it away. She's already at the frozen chunk of ice, and she just has to dig enough to be able to get the stick stuck into it.
Flame and just melt a bit of ice.
Okay, yeah, that'll work. All right, so you burn enough of it away. You kind of jab the chunk, the branch, basically into it. You set up the twigs around it and run the thread between and go through the ritual. 10 minutes later, a very freezing, very shivering, very frostbitey 10 minutes. The tree begins to grow up out of it, and the kind of bowl shape forms. You're able to easily climb in. Those of you that do feel it is very comfortable. I would say that it's still cold inside, but not because of the exterior. It's just that it's going to take you a while to warm up, and it's not hot inside the bubble. It's just room temperature. So
I wouldn't make it too much, because if we go to really hot back to cold, it would be worse. So I'm just gonna raise it gently, slowly.
Okay.
And before we go out of it, I'm gonna gently decrease the temperature so it's similar to outside, but not quite.
Sure.
Real quick, is this big enough for everybody?
Yeah, everybody will be able to fit inside.
Just
it's not comfortable. Yeah, with you did it once on the plains still on the wood plains with Shok. Shok and Norak pretty much have to sit with their feet touching, like their boots kind of pressed against each other, while they're both laying up halfway on the inside of the dome.
I mean, if
they'd be in the middle, there wouldn't be room for anybody else if they did that.
Sexuality is a spectrum. It's fine.
I mean, if you guys want some extra warmth, I can see if Shannon will just lay on top of everyone. She's massive.
And I'm gonna whisper. Or if we need to, I don't want to. We could cut open my bird down there, and you could sleep inside of it, ton style.
That is terrible.
No, I'm not saying. Just a worst case scenario. Or if we need a snack or a barbecue.
Shok does kind of eyes widen a little bit at that.
I was kidding, Shok. No, I mean, no, it's partial kidding. Can you even eat?
It's not even a real creature, is it?
No, it's a real creature. It actually summons it from they somewhere from around the area. It just
the nearest one that is flying around in the area comes in. Yeah.
I imagine they get sucked. I imagine they get sucked through some sort of weird magic portal and wind up 10 miles away or a mile away from me, and just well, I guess I'm here now.
Yeah, they are compelled to follow despite knowing that this is Peter 3.0, or is it still 2.0?
They don't know about
It's 2.0
Pietro.
to 1.0. He didn't summon. He summoned a different one.
Oh,
Because
that's
if
right. He
it's
didn't
within a
kill him.
radius, He
Yeah,
didn't
he
kill
didn't
it.
kill
One
him.
of
He was
them
just too
couldn't.
far away.
One of them couldn't
Yeah.
fit through a magical doorway.
Mhm.
So I had to tell him to stay. Only one's died, I think, and then one put on a great show and will go down in history as the best showman bird ever.
The best Freebird performance of all time.
Yeah.
All right. Then that said, is anybody doing anything for the evening? Any preparations for the following day? Any conversation to be had? Anything of that sort?
I'm gonna take some food out, prep a bit more, and that's about it.
I'm gonna try to take one of the tents and see if I can not ruin it, but turn it into some way to, wear it, to wrap it around my body like a thick, more of a thick, extra large cloak, like doubling it up and just attaching the corners and edges the best I can. Let's see. Does anyone have a sewing kit? Anything like that?
No,
Artemis
but I
does.
got rope.
Mm-hmm.
Artemis made those in the first place, so she does. Yeah.
Do you mind if I just borrow that? And I've got needles. I just need like a little thread or something. I can use my Marathosian knitting needles to tie it together. Really ties a room together. And I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can do that. What would you like me to roll to see if I can do that?
We'll call it a. I mean, you're not a seamstress, but as far as just kind of stitching it enough together to hold it as a cloak, I would say that you could roll that as just a sleight of hand. And just beat a 12. Well, just barely. You stitch it as best you can, and every time you hold the neck.
Wait, I
Okay.
think I still have. I do. You can re-roll that.
All right, you use your chrono thing.
Oh,
Yep.
really?
Yep,
Oh,
chrono
okay.
shift.
Yeah, I hadn't used.
So
any of
you're
it.
so you're just watching me just shittily try to put together like a cloak thing, and just like, oh, this poor bastard.
He looks in your direction, sees that you're doing it wrong, and you see the thread kind of pulling back and going back through where you fucked it up,
Whoa!
allowing you to redo it. And with her direction, you were able to easily get it connected enough that you can wear it as not just a cloak, but like a maggot shape almost, because this is bare leather. So you're kind of worm-like a halfling worm shape almost.
Perfect. I've always wanted to be a halfling worm.
I mean, if this is my tent, I don't want you to fuck it up too bad.
No.
It was his.
It's all things I can. Yeah, it can be undone. It's just
Yeah, you can just
You
pull
know,
the threads
we
back
don't-
out. Yeah.
this way for
Exactly.
where we're at. I'm very small. I can't pack a lot with me, and I'm all filled with pitonies.
All two of them. Although for you, they are quite heavy. So.
Everything's so heavy.
Yeah. What's Nazim doing? Nazim's been quiet this trek.
All right, so I'm just gonna act kind of in the typical Nazim weird way, just grabbing two of those leather swatches and just pressing them up against my cheeks just to kind of keep warm and just stay warm and heal as best as possible and rest up.
Very gross. Very, very, very
Gross.
appropriately gross. Yeah.
Leather pieces.
Well, I
I'm
assume
gonna
he means from the.
I'm gonna
from the
get
snow
as
shark.
far away from him as I can inside our tiny little.
Just trying to stay warm. Just
Well, it's a
squares on my
it's a
face.
it's a 10-foot bubble, so there's not you can't get very far from him. If anything, the further you get, it just means you're now staring directly at him, because the furthest you get inside the sphere is literally to look straight at him.
Nope,
Oh.
because Sarah's gonna get as far away as she can, and then call Shan to just lay on top of her so she can't
Alright.
do shit.
Okay.
Isn't Shan like 10 feet long? It's like, what is that, like a
She's good
600-pound
size.
animal laying on you?
Well,
I
yeah,
mean,
but
she's
she's
essentially laying on everyone at this point, but it's fine.
Fuck.
Norok and Shok's legs are both covered in dog at the moment.
Stop.
Demon dog.
Rufus.
Speaking of dog, yeah. Apparently, Ben's being harassed by one right now.
He is.
All right. Then everybody rests through the night. Go ahead and apply your long rests. That means Norok, you'll be back down to 1 level of exhaustion. Artemis, you'll be back down to 0. Nazim, you'll be back down to 0.
Long rest, getting a long rest.
Nazim, Sarah, Norok, you got yours coming?
Yeah. Sliding.
Anything weird happen over the night or no?
No, you guys at the base of this cliff. It's actually surprisingly quiet, because it's about the only place that you're not hearing the constant hum of this just ever-present wind. That's just constantly all around you. You're not really hearing it too much down here, of course, because this cliff face is kind of blocking it for the most part. But morning comes. It is quiet. There's no wildlife around. You don't even see birds.
Is Pietro still alive?
Pietro couldn't be inside the bubble, and he is,
No.
so he is covered in snow, very uncomfortable. He was laying on top of the dome to try to, absorb this transient heat from inside of it. As much
I'll
as he
give him
could,
a
but
level of exhaustion as well.
I don't think it quite works because he's not technically he's supposed to be like a spiritual creature anyway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I would say that he doesn't have to. You don't have to worry about that. He is a wild animal, anyways. Although this is unnatural cold, so. But you wake. Everybody is as rested as you're gonna be. The imposing cold, this awful, ever-present cold, is immediately there. Of course, as soon as you step outside of the dome, and you are at the base of the cliff.
Right, so mammoth isn't good for this section, right?
I mean, can your mammoth fly straight up this fucking wall?
No.
How good is a mammoth at climbing?
I mean, Pietro
terrible.
said he could probably get me up there. I've got these little patonis that are made for, attaching ropes. So I could...
Is it like a sheer cliff?
It's pretty damn sheer. I mean, there are occasional little outcroppings. It's not ice. It's just stone. It's a mountain. A sheer.
And how high up is it?
With ice covering it. 80 feet. 80, 90 feet.
Is this maybe where we should use the wind thing?
I mean, we might as well. It's a new day. But Norak, you're going to have to give us we can't talk to each other when we're wind. So someone's going to have to give us very specific directions on where we're going. I'm not even sure. Can we see each other when we're wind?
No.
So we can't even see each other. We're basically going to be give everyone very good directions. How about this could be Norak's thing? This could be Norak.
We
are you proficient?
Change back and forth between them.
Well, we could choose, yeah.
So once we change back, can we change back into wind?
I think you can for 8 hours.
Yeah,
How
for
about
8
we
hours.
all-
For the duration of the spell, it takes 1 minute to change forms again, but you could change back into wind.
So I mean, we can all just agree to meet
At a certain
wherever
point.
we're going up here, and then change back. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Although I say if we see any bad creatures, we should go back down and
Awesome.
and then discuss.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. So perhaps Shok, how does that plan sound to you?
Who has the best survival skill? I have a feeling this will be survival.
Probably me.
Well, I was
Up a mountain without any.
thinking maybe it would be someone else trying to persuade Shok to do this. I don't think a survival skill would... I feel like there's really nothing involved in floating around as...
Yeah, but you have to make sure you get to the right spot because somebody can end up on the other side of the fucking mountain.
Ah, right.
Especially
Wait.
if we see each other.
Real quick again, Jeremy, you didn't say that it wouldn't work in this wind, right? You said it would work in this wind or it wouldn't?
It just
Yeah, it'll be reduced pretty significantly from okay.
It's not going to blow us off the map back or something. We can go, we just can't move at the speed that it's
Kind of partially depends
ridiculous
on how bad the roll is.
Got it.
Will impact that, yeah.
Well, I mean, I say we try it. Is everyone okay with that?
I mean, I mentioned that the weather's probably going to be worse up there, a lot worse, and there might be worse weather coming in.
Specifically today, what's funny actually is that literally this is the next challenge. After this, your cliff face is a blizzard. I'm going to go ahead. I'm revealing that specifically because Arteme can sense nature. She can sense the weather, upcoming weather for the next 24 hours, accurate weather for the next 24 hours, and she can tell you there's a blizzard coming. They will be hitting later today. And right now, at the base of the cliff, that's not a problem. But at the top of the cliff, where you're exposed again, that's trouble.
Why don't
So
we just
you could
go...
still use the wind, but it will be not as impactful there when it's not as fierce of a blizzard.
I mean, we have it for 8 hours. We might as well just do it until that bad weather hits. Can we all agree? And I'm thinking, if we got to do a skill check for this, I can... What is Shok? Is Shok seem like he's okay with this? Are you all right with her casting a spell on you? It's not bad. You just kind of turn into wind for a while, and then we can move. And you can even turn it off if you need to, and then turn it back on. It just takes a minute to kind of recover yourself. But it's not that bad if you're okay with it.
He grumbles. Yeah, he grumbles, and he looks at Norok and he says, "Do they just turn you into shit all day?" Is it just different fucking animals every day? He clearly looks
no,
disturbed.
You know
really.
what? It's kind of actually our thing. If I was to give us like a thing, that's kind of our thing. Like I talk shit and then we turn into animals. That seems pretty. Actually, Shok, you're very. I think you just discovered something about ourselves that we were unaware of. That is
when
our
you
thing.
think about it, a lot of us
We're
are
a living
tiny,
petting zoo.
so turning shit into big stuff that we can then ride on, it kind of makes sense.
He, with this kind of somewhat acknowledgement, he kind of just lowers his head and like looks resigned. Shoulders are slumped. It's just whatever. If this is what it takes.
I mean, just to look ahead and say I naturally turn into like different animals. So for me, this is like just a normal day.
Yeah, but that's natural for your people, not mine. I don't know how you convinced my nephew here to go along with this.
It's natural for some of my people, not all of them.
It's mostly just fun, honestly. It's just a fun. It's a giggle.
It's because he trusts us.
It's part of my magic.
I just enjoy it.
As awkward as it is, and as much as it's
Have you ever?
uncomfortable
Let
for
me
I
show.
do.
Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like a plastic bag in the wind? All
All right, so what's the plan, guys?
Well, if we have to use skill checks, I was just to persuade like Shok into doing this. I was gonna do persuasion and do that because I feel like do you all feel pretty confident, or does someone want to use survival to try to tell us all where the hell we're going and meeting and the plan of where we're going?
Well, I suck at survival, so not me.
He's persuaded already. Like I don't think that would be necessary. In that you guys basically, as much as he doesn't want to do these things, he does realize that you're in a bad situation that could be necessary. So he'll go along.
Yeah, I have a 0 survival and a +2 to nature. So if it's either of those, I'm out.
Okay,
Pretty much I've got.
Nature, but
Don't worry, guys. The good news is I'm proficient in deception, intimidation. I can perform.
When
do a dance.
Yeah, perform would be great up here. When you guys are deciding on your plan, keep in mind what role you're going to want to use and who's going to make the role also. And it can't be the same person back to back. And I'd like to get everybody at least one role in here too. You guys have to have 8 successes. So so far, Artemis done 1 and Sarah's done 1. So if we can get Pogo, Nazim, or Norok, ideally, to try one. Artemis can't do it anyways because Artemis just did the last one.
Norok.
What's that?
What would be best for this situation right now?
I feel like you could do survival to like tell us where to go if you're proficient in that, or I could use I could use persuasion to. Well, no, he's already persuaded. Yeah, I ain't got shit.
Probably gonna be survival or nature. I would.
I'd say survival or nature, one of those two. I am proficient in neither.
Me either. And
Wait,
I have minor proficiency in survival over here.
Because Nora grew up here, wouldn't he know where to go? So
You'd still have to roll.
Yeah, so keep in mind things like that, Fox. That's exactly the kind of stuff you want to be looking for because those things affect the DC. So meaning it'll be easier for Norok to do something like that than it would be for the rest of you because he knows the area. So if he's if he could get the advantage and also meaning the DC would be lower and also have proficiency in a skill, things like that, that really helps a lot.
Norok, I think you should just do your best to tell us where to go, paint us a word picture, if you will, about where we need to head up this hill when we're turned into the gas, and then tell us where we're all going to meet so that we all end up meeting at the same spot when we unturn from gas. We can still turn back into it, but why don't you go ahead and just lay out the lay of the land for us? How's that sound for everybody?
that works, I think.
That's great.
Fantastic. All right, Norok.
All right, so it's survival then.
I don't know. Let's see. What does Jeremy want to do?
Ben?
Again, my character sheet's cut off because of the screen size, so I can't even give up. Okay.
Which one are you better at, survival or nature?
Survival. Nature is 0.
Okay, then yeah, there you go.
If that's cool with everybody.
What do you mean it's cut off? What are you talking about?
His thing doesn't go all the way down. Mine does the same thing, but I have a little bit more space.
Okay, so the little arrow in the bottom right corner, you can't drag that down?
Not anymore.
What if you click pop out in the top in the title bar and then use the scroll bar?
What if you maximize the window?
Or you could change the view size. Ben, just remind me, okay? Let's fix that before next week, so you can actually get to stuff. What were you looking for? What your survival skill is? That's plus
Yeah,
5.
I think you said it was plus 5, so that's
Yeah,
what I'll
plus
use.
5.
That's all right with you.
Okay, all right. So you want Norok is so the plan then is, tell me if I get any of this wrong. You guys are going to turn into clouds.
Yep.
Still, yes. So you're
Yep.
going to do that. You're going to use Windwalk. Artem is going to use Windwalk for all of you.
Artem
And Norok
Land's
is going to, using survival, describe every tree and every rock along the way to give you a meeting point. As far up the road as you guys can get. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Or at least whatever makes sense to him. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Then Norok, you do your best to describe to everyone that once you get up to the top of this cliff, there will be a bankment of trees on the right side, and there's kind of a slope leading up to it that's going to be, for walking would be difficult. You guys would have a lot of trouble getting over that, but if you could just fly right over it, even if it is through the blizzard, that would be very much helpful. And if you follow that for a ways, you'll be going in the direction of the road. You tell them specifically head to the northeast and so on, what direction to follow. That up ahead you'll see a kind of a curved peak that has almost a beak-like shape. And if you stop at the base there where the small copse of trees is, everybody should be able to gather there.
All right, let's roll. Let's roll. Ah!
So Ben, it'll be with advantage because he does know the area here. The DC is going to be a 14 because of the blizzard. You guys being in the wind is still going to be tough. 19. All right. All right, that's another success.
Oh, I was just waiting for us to get split up in a blizzard on top of a mountain. That'd been awesome. Hey, Jeremy, just a heads up. I gotta pretty much hard out at 8:30.
Yeah, let's go ahead and well, you guys know what's coming up next week with the blizzard here. Let me go and I'll mark.
So we all comfortably meet at the base of a beaky tree, and we can. Oh shit! Look at you guys. We all turned into.
So you
stuff, and then
actually,
came back.
yeah, but that only took for you guys to get there took about an hour. So you guys still have 7 hours of wind walking next week as well. So keep that in mind.
Sweet.
So we'll call it 6 to 7 hours depending on wind and everything. All right. So everybody good for the 7th?
As of now, I believe I am.
Looks good.
All right, guys. I got a cut. I will see you all next week.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Later, dude.
Night.
Night.
I'm going.